Welcome into Sportstime. Bryant and Brett with you. Landon, Darian, both with us this afternoon. We're Sportstime. We're with you for the next 3 hours. A lot to get into this afternoon as we got to talk the NFL as another week in the books. 2 Monday Night Football games last night, and both underdogs coming through. That's right, Brett. Oh, Brett,
excuse me, my mic open?
Good Lord, Brett, give me a second. I'll give you your credit. You gotta let me breathe.
It's
first.
3:00:51.
That's right. Yeah, no, 50 seconds too long. No, but Brett did yesterday. He picked both of the underdogs. I was thinking about that last night. Sure did. Straight up said both the underdogs would win, and early when I was running around keeping an eye on both the games, but when I was able to really get home and get them both on, I was like, okay, both underdogs looking good. Then here comes the Commanders, and I was like, all right, well, one's not bad, and then here come the Bears. So both underdogs get there. We'll talk about those 2 games. We'll talk the NFL. We've also got to talk the Tigers. We got to talk the baseball, as it was another fun night last night around Major League Baseball. We'll also talk some Tennessee Titans. Nick Suss, the beat writer over at the Tennessean, he'll join us in our 3rd hour. We'll talk about the news yesterday. Brian Callahan fired by the Tennessee Titans. We'll get into a lot of other Titans talk with him. So plenty to get to over these next 3 hours. But yeah, those 2 games last night, they were interesting.
I'm doing well, Brian. I know I interrupted you.
No, you're good.
A friend of mine texted me last night. He goes, please tell me you have the money line 2-team parlay for both of your Monday Night Football picks. I told him I've got the grand total of 0.
No, I was. I had wished after the fact that I had bet on your 2 underdogs last night, because you would have gotten a nice payday out of it.
Not only that, I'll just tell you and Landon that I'm getting in a good groove on picks.
You're getting in a good groove. I am not, which is fine. But
college football, I'm now 25-15. You are 21-19. Landon is 13-27. NFL last night pushed me over 500. I'm 20-19. Landon is 17-22. Right. You are 13-26. For the year, I'm 45-34. You are 34-45. Landon is 30-49. And my score picks are really good.
Are they?
Last night, 24-20. I said Atlanta would win.
That's right.
They won by, it wasn't that, though.
They won by 10, but they had 24.
Yeah.
So that was...
Had Bears winning 17-14.
Yeah, that's close.
Had them winning by 3. They won by 1.
That's exactly right.
What a terrible guy.
No, I mean, just awful. Just awful. Can't pick it. Go ahead,
It's
Landon.
the spread.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
It is. I've chosen winners, just not the spread.
But hey,
that's the key part.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah, that's literally all of it. So that's what I'm missing.
Name of the game.
Spread really matters. Yeah, try telling that to the man.
Well, I will. I'll have some words.
Well, you can bet the money line. You just won't get.
I'll write a strongly worded email.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
strongly worded email.
That's
like asking to see a manager, isn't it?
It's they're in the same.
It is exactly the same.
That's for
Darren,
sure.
you heard that a bunch of times in your life. Man, see the manager.
Yeah, you were unfortunately the manager that they had to see, which is not fun. But no, those were 2 fun games. I mean,
and then in baseball last night.
Well, yeah, in baseball last night.
Tell me the last time you saw the old 8-6-2 double play
awesome.
catcher put out.
Sal Frelick, one of my favorite players. Oh man, just making plays out there in center field.
I was so bumfuzzled. I thought it was a triple play. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what.
I did as well.
Darian, it was almost the story I was telling last week, all but Pony League baseball with 2 balls in play breaking out.
No, I mean I had to see it a handful of times before I could really understand what had just happened.
It had everybody whacked out.
It did, and it's that clip is circulating. I feel like I can't even get on my phone.
So do you guys? I got 2 questions about last night's games.
Okay.
The first one is: do you blame the players for not knowing the rule?
No, because Darian, it's like PGA Tour players. Nobody knows the rules. Yeah. Nobody knows the rule. No player participant. Watch when the NFL goes to overtime, how everybody looks around like, well, what would he do? Is it over? Do we play? Did first score win? Mm-hmm. You know, everybody is just guessing.
Yeah. And it was also so, like, it was, I guess, bang, bang, bang play out there in center field that it was almost we were all kind of sitting there like, okay, what just happened?
Because the question was the wall. Once that ball came out of the glove, what happens? Because he retrieved it. It didn't hit the ground. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kind of left me. I was puzzled.
Yeah.
But wall is ground.
Yeah.
Come to find out the wall, it makes it live.
That's the thing is because that's what I was sitting there because I was like, okay, on the replay I can clearly see that it hits the wall. But if you're standing there on third base, can you really see, okay, that ricocheted off the wall and then is in his glove now? I thought it was just one of those kind of bang-bang plays.
On the rules front, among many reasons why we are so fortunate, lucky, blessed, and have one of the great announce teams ever for a local, national, any kind of market. The team of Pete Pranica, Brevin Knight, Rob Fisher, and Chris Vernon. Pete Pranica is rules savant expert.
He really is.
He could be in. And they wouldn't be having chicken casserole or whatever Brevin says they're having. He could be in there and be adjudicating all the rules, chapter and verse, semicolon of the addendum of the subtext of the rule book. Yeah. It is frightening.
He's really good. And I think he's even. I know he joins Dave Woloshin weekly, and I'm pretty sure about a year ago, he said that he was sent over somewhere overseas where they were going to be playing some international games or doing something, and he kind of taught their commentators a lot about the NBA, but also he said a big part of it was explaining to them the rule book because, a lot of other places outside of America, they play by FIBA rules. It's different than the NBA, and so he was kind of explaining to them the rule book, and you're right. I mean, he's the perfect person to do that.
And he's so good at it that in a quick hitting moment for TV, he can explain it to you very relatably and understandably. But if he had to, he could go full law school dissertation on it.
No, he is unbelievable, and you're right. When it comes to the rules, he's got it down.
Most of us don't really know.
No.
And I'll tell you a funny story about the rules. So the year that the Oilers played here, 97, they only played one preseason game here, and they played against the Saints and Mike Ditka.
Yeah.
When he was the head coach of the Saints. No, they didn't. They were getting ready to kick the first extra point, and it wasn't anybody's fault. It was really all kind of on the fly too. But the field was marked with the where you kick from in the NFL, which was much closer, but that was different than college. It was marked for the Tigers or for the last college game that had been played there, I guess the Liberty Bowl. During the course of the game, they had to block it out and remark the conversion spot.
Wow, interesting.
Because the fields are different.
Yeah, they are. I mean,
and the rules are very different. And here's one that gets a lot of people in college. When you're punting and you're trying to pin them down at the one, if the ball breaks that imaginary line, it doesn't matter if you touch it and throw it back and pin it down at the one.
Yeah.
That's an NFL thing. If it breaks that line, it's out to the 20 in college.
That's a good point. That it's especially in football, it is kind of strange how different some of the rules are just between pro and college. You have that in basketball as well, but I feel like there's almost more in terms of like dimensions and rules kind of put together in football than there is in really any other sport.
Yeah, but really the rules guy or gal can really separate themselves.
They absolutely can.
Because most of us don't know them.
No, we really don't. Darren, you said you had two questions.
I was so waiting on it. Thank you for introducing me back. It's like the good old days, fellas. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
So my last question, Blake
Maybe I should be
Snell.
welcoming you.
Look, Blake Snell in this pitcher's card he had yesterday. Do you like it? Not like it? And do you think it takes away from the great performance that was? Because we all know he faced a minimum amount of batters. First time since 1956, I think, Don Larson.
Yeah.
So this pitcher's card that he kept looking at, kept staring at. Normally that's reserved for the outfield.
Sure.
You see a center fielder looking at it. But did you like it, hate it, and does it take away from the performance?
That didn't really bother me.
The times.
Yeah, I didn't really care.
I don't get too sore about it.
No.
Only World Series perfect game was Don Larson's. Did Roy Halladay have a no-hitter or a perfect game in the playoffs?
I think it was perfect. I think he had a perfect.
But that was playoffs, not World Series. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason I bring it up because you don't see it that often from a pitcher. So it was kind of odd. I mean, it was obviously working in his favor.
It's good.
No, it's really good. It's a really good category. No, it didn't bother me. I mean, I think, there's no rules against it. And so, I mean, when you're in a moment like that.
I spoke with a baseball homer last night, and he said basically it took away this much, a smidget, because it's something about having I know where Dacus' hot spot is. I know where I know where to go today because I know where not to, ingrained in your head. And it just seemed it reeked of unpreparedness a little bit.
I mean, I guess I can understand that a little bit, but he was awesome, and I don't know how much different it would be if he didn't have that, because these guys study the opponent. I mean, he might not have had the sheet on him, but he probably would have known. Okay. Frelick's up, he doesn't like to hit this pitch. He'd probably at least be able to, okay, let me think, oh, yeah, he doesn't like that pitch. So maybe not just looking at it going, okay, I know this player doesn't like this. Contreras doesn't hit this pitch well, but I'm sure it would have kind of come back to him at some point during the game.
Do you let it hit you?
Oh, you let it hit you. Brett, we were texting. You let it hit you.
Darren and I were.
There is no doubt.
Brian was on that text.
I was in
he was. Yeah, they're awfully quiet. They're the quiet two.
Yeah.
In our chain.
He
and Landon.
You let it hit you.
They get enough of me.
No.
They let me. They're like, Darian, you talk to Brett all night.
No, you let it hit him, but I think that is become too big of a story because. Yes.
I disagree.
Well, just wait. Let me finish, Darren, because here's the thing. I completely understand, because I know where you're going. I completely understand. If the ball hits you, you get the walk, bases are loaded, you score a run, you tie it up, you're going extra innings. Okay, I completely understand
now a blooper in the outfield brings home and you win.
But that doesn't get past the point that the Brewers had 2 hits the entire game. I mean, you got to have more than 2 hits to win a game this deep into the playoffs.
Okay, but let's say now, who's it? Trenton? That was up.
Yeah.
Okay, now Trenton has a +5 ERA. Now let's say he stays wild and he throws the ball away.
Sure.
So it's not just about a hit.
He tried to.
He sure did. But my thing is I'm with you. Like, you definitely let it hit you. But I do not think the loss. I'm seeing too many people blaming the loss on him not letting it hit him. When the fact is, we talk about it all the time. It's not just one play that really leads to a loss. It's the fact that this lineup couldn't hit last night. And it's credit to Blake Snell. He was phenomenal. 8 innings, 1 hit ball.
They couldn't scratch.
But they just couldn't get anything.
I will leave you with this. You are a percentages guy. So that percentage, that win-loss deal that ESPN does, where was that? Before he struck out. It had to be plus Dodgers because they were winning.
Oh, yeah.
That thing has to go 50-50 next, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's all that I'm saying.
Yeah.
Your percentages change once you go 1-1.
I'm with you for sure. Like, I definitely think if you could go back, I think there's
you
nobody that's saying.
You take that
hey,
purple
jump out
mark
of the way.
on the side.
Yeah.
But Brian, sports fans and the psychology of sports fans so well that we're going to have transference. We're going to have the blame game.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like me in the 85 World Series. I spent 35 years blaming Don Dinkinger. The Cardinals hit $190 for that series.
But you're right. It's a lot easier when you have one person that you can.
That's so much easier.
Put the blame on. Yeah,
that's so much easier. And in that ill-fated 9th inning, Jack Clark stumbling around in front of the dugout, drop pop-up. I mean, gave them 4 or 5 outs.
Yeah.
It should have never. And yesterday when Tom Ackerman was talking about he knew that team, knew their hometowns, Brian Harper was going to be the hero for the Cardinals with the RBI in the 8th for the Cardinals, or maybe top of the 9th even, and we're going to win 1-0 and win a World Series. And I'm listening to Jack Buck, and he said, Brian Harper poised to be the Cardinal hero of the 85 World Series. And then the 9th inning happened.
Man, that's too bad.
Brian, I tell you, if that ball coming to me, I take that hit, and if it hurts any of my lower extremities, I take my Wisconsin Nobel Prize, and I go home.
Yeah, you do. You have to. And if you look at those laces for the next 6 weeks, we won a game
that's
because
right.
of that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Now, Matt Infield on Twitter last night says we're all crazy. We'll get him to weigh in.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll
today.
definitely. I didn't see this tweet.
Matt says we're all a bunch of fake tough guys saying we'd let it hit us.
I mean, that's true. Look, here's the thing.
I understand. There was 99 coming towards
you. I ain't letting 99 hit me now. But also, I'm not a Major League Baseball player.
And this from a person that can stand anything but 2 things. Pain or temptation.
Well, yeah. Maybe you're not the one to speak on.
I'm a sucker for both.
Do you get hit or not? But no, fun fact, Darian, when I was playing competitive baseball in middle school, led our team in hit by pitches. So I know how to wear it. I know how to get hit by a pitch.
You can take a high hard one.
No, that was it's coming in at like 60. That wasn't coming in at 99. So
left-handed wild pitcher, Pony League Baseball, good friend of mine. Effectively wild, that guy.
Love it.
If you're in the batter's box, kind of scared.
Of course.
I was real scared because pain and temptation. He's left-handed. He is so wild that I step in the bucket bail out, and I'm batting right-handed, catches me on the inside of my right knee. Could see the laces clearly the rest of the summer.
Oh, man.
And it felt like I had been shot. I mean, go down. I mean, and real sweaty.
Brutal.
It was in the batter's box. Got up of a big mud cake and knee just, and I was scared from then on.
Yeah, no, I would have a hard time getting back
That
in
ball
the batter's
hurts.
box. Yeah, no, it does, and that's
That
the thing.
ball
Like,
hurts.
I can't blame him for jumping out of the way. Now, another thing, Brett, that will make that heal a little faster is, you get a nice paycheck to be in the box, against that type of pitch.
I got nothing in Pony League.
Now,
baseball.
not when you're with the Brewers, because someone pointed out that I heard it this morning on the morning show. Eli read the text. Someone texted in this morning and said that Blake Snell, by himself, is making more money than the entire Brewers pitching staff combined.
That's the Dodgers.
That's crazy.
They're in second National League team. He's got his first team hat on today.
See,
Made it a point not to wear that hat.
See, Darren, I can't get down like that. I can have a National League team, an American League team. Can't have two.
Just not an AL guy. That's all. That's all.
I used to fancy
Not
my,
an AL guy.
my other National League team as being the Giants until the '87 LCS and Jeffrey Leonard. That was the end of it. I loved Willie Mays and Orlando Cepeda.
Yeah, that's the good guys to be fans of. I know we got to get to top and not top story in a second, but Darren, you said you're not an AL guy. At a point, that meant something. Does that mean anything anymore? I hear people say that all the time, like, I'm not an AL guy, I'm not an NL guy. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
To me, I'm 42. To me, it means the world to me because I can affectionately say I'm an Eastern Conference guy. It's something about being on this side of the world, being a Cardinals fan, and even though I'm a Lakers fan, obviously, but when you come down to East or West, when you're doing
NFL?
All-Star games.
You got NFL side?
NFC.
Okay,
I guess the NFC guy when you say NFL.
But usually when people say I don't get down with the AL, it's about the DH.
It was the DH. It was.
But
I mean,
that's not
I'll
a thing anymore. So like it doesn't.
And Interleague made me get to know them and like them
It
better.
did. But the lack of interleague before it happened, it drew a line. It drew a divide.
Did.
So that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Landon doesn't have the same, optics or yourself because, like, I think it was just a sign of the time. It wasn't a bad thing. No, it wasn't a bad thing. No, it wasn't a bad thing. It was just a line divided.
Yeah.
If we didn't go across those lines, they didn't come across these lines.
But we really bought into that.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I get like.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
hated the American League.
I get that it's a thing and it's still a thing for a lot of people. But I guess my point is that like. I think that type of thinking is dying out.
Go ahead and say it
all.
all. It's old fogey.
Yeah. And soon, no, I'm not gonna say
Birthday
that.
candles.
Soon,
Birthday candles.
heck, soon we're gonna, we're
Need
gonna
a damn
reorganize
fire
the
extinguisher
whole
in my birthday
thing.
cake, Darren.
No, well, let's not get to that point. But we do have a lot to talk about this afternoon, so let me set it up before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Matt Infield from Action News 5. He'll join us. We'll talk a lot of Tigers with him, Tiger football as they get ready to take on UAB. Tiger basketball. We had media days earlier this week. Penny Hardaway had a lot to say. We'll get into a little bit of that. Thursday night, we've got the Ballin' on Beal, so that's only a couple days away. A lot of people can go out and see this Tiger team. We'll talk a lot of Tigers with Matt Infield. We'll also get his thoughts on the baseball last night. 3:45, we'll talk some NFL as we had those two Monday night football games last night. We'll talk some of these big headlines out of the NFL. 4 o'clock, Brent Beard from First Coast News in Jacksonville. He'll join us. We'll talk college football with him. All the news from the weekend, all the games, the James Franklin firing, what's next for him. We'll get into all of that with Brent Beard. 4:30, we'll talk some baseball as we'll get into what happened last night between the Mariners and the Blue Jays, the Dodgers and the Brewers, and then we'll get into tonight's game, Game 2 between the Dodgers and the Brewers. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Nick Suss, the Titans beat writer over at the Tennessean. He'll join us. We'll talk a lot about the breaking news that came out yesterday afternoon that they were making a change at the head coach position. We'll get into a lot of that, but we'll also talk about this Titans team as a whole. Cam Ward, this offense, the defense, a little bit of everything with Nick Suss. 5:30, we'll get to what's trending, and at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's and Humdinger's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. It's the world's biggest spa sale. It's going on right now at Family Leisure. Spas starting at $29.99 and swim spas now up to 30% off. the floor model specials, they're going on as well. And go out there and purchase a new cold plunge. Those cold plunges starting at just $49.99. Get a free umbrella with purchase of select patio furniture sets. And don't forget about the swimming pools. A perfect time to go out there, get ahead of next summer and purchase that swimming pool. The clearance pricing, it's going through the end of this month. Buy now and save on that price increase. Special financing, it's still available, but only at Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sportstime. We're with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a big part of our show by texting or calling the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line, 901-360-8255. He's Brian. I'm Brett. We're produced by the twin towers of great producers, Darian Newsom and Landon Schmidt. And we want you to be a part of our show. We're always in our Family Leisure studios, wherever we are. And we're in the studio today, so that's where we are, in our Family Leisure studio. This hour brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2025 models and always special leasing options. Stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2025 flagship LS500, and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and that makes for the luxury, safe driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it is the Monday night football games we had last night. Two games. It started with the Falcons and the Bills, a game where the Falcons really controlled most of the game, a 24-14 win. It was a lot of Bijan Robinson, who finished with 170 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown. He added 68 yards receiving as well. Michael Penix Jr., pretty good, 250 yards, a touchdown. Drake London had a big-time game, 158 yards and one touchdown. That defense was really good as well for the Falcons, putting pressure on Josh Allen all night. He only finished with 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Now, that second interception, it came late when he was really just trying to force something and get some points on the board as the time was winding down. But now you look up, the Bills, back-to-back losses, and not really where they want to be. They certainly have some issues, and I think it starts with that defense and how they just had no answers for Bijan Robinson. In that second game, it continued with the running back. That's because DeAndre Swift had an awesome game, finished with 108 yards on 14 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown on 2 receptions, and he was a big reason the Bears got the 25-24 win over the Commanders. I thought both these young quarterbacks, were really, really fun to watch last night. Caleb Williams, 252 yards, a touchdown. Jaden Daniels, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. And really, we talked yesterday about that game they had last year that came down to the last play and really dictated the rest of the season for both of those teams. And this one kind of felt very similar to last year's. And that is the question. Will we see kind of the same thing play out this year? But just a really fun game, and a game where Bears led early at 13-0. Then here come the Commanders. They regain the lead. They go up 8, and then the Bears able to get a score, get a stop, force a fumble, and then set up a 38-yard field goal from Jake Moody. So 2, I thought, really entertaining games last night, and we'll see where all 4 of these teams go from here, because I think all of them have fun pieces, but all of them do still have question marks.
My top story, the NFL, it's made. The very essence of it is made to feel wide open after 6 games, or really at any point of the year. And they love trotting out down the stretch of the year the various playoff scenarios where really nobody's eliminated. Some of them are really far-fetched. College football this year seems like it is wide open, and college football season is now about as long as an NFL season. The division leaders in the AFC right now today, it looks like it's 2005.
Yeah.
Instead of 2025. New England, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, and the Chargers. Brady, Big Ben, Peyton, and Phillip Rivers. They're not the quarterbacks anymore, though. Baltimore at 1-5 and 2 straight losses for Buffalo. Nobody had that in the preseason. Buffalo now seems very gettable. The NFL feels like it should feel like. Wide open.
That's right.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day is the story that came out last night about James Franklin. Now that he is done at Penn State, Front Office Sports put this tweet out last night. James Franklin is required to look for another job in coaching or broadcasting, according to a copy of his Penn State contract obtained by Front Office Sports. If Franklin's new job pays him less than the $8 million he's owed annually through 2031,
it will.
Penn State only owes him the difference. So an interesting clause in his contract that now he has to go out there and look for a job. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't say he has to go out there and find another job. It just says he has to go out there and look for another job. Can he just go out there and say, well, you know, I looked, I didn't really like what was out there, I'm hitting to the beach, or like it just the way it's
Here's
worded.
my forwarding address.
Yeah, I mean, like
here's my routing number.
Look, Brett, I've had friends before. I could even say when I was in high school and I was quote unquote looking for a job, that I was one that was like, oh, I'm looking.
Well, I
it
drove by.
doesn't seem like anybody's really hiring or anything. Like, I've known too many people that have done that. If I'm James Franklin, it sounds like that's exactly what I can do. If I tried to go out there, couldn't find anything. Now, give me all that money you're supposed to be paying me.
He'll be coaching in the SEC on opening day next year.
For who?
Arkansas Razorbacks.
Wow.
My not top story, the oh-so-routine 8-6-2 double play. Just start tagging bases and runners everywhere. We've learned that from Little League, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
It had everybody all messed up. Umps, announcers, fans. We were all bewildered. I thought it was a triple play. Little League breaks out. Dodgers held on, win 2-1 in a classic. This October baseball,
it's been so good.
and my team's not in it, but I'm into it. It has been terrific, astonishing.
It's been unbelievable. It has been so much fun, and hopefully it will continue, because I think we have 4 really good teams left, and we'll see who ultimately advances to the World Series. Well, that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break, and when we return, we're talking Tigers. Matt Infield from Action News 5. He joins us next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Maria's Cantina in South Haven is not your average Tex-Mex joint because they're serving up Mexican with a twist. Maria's Scratch Kitchen is the most creative and diverse menu around. Beyond the traditional huge quesadillas, chimichangas, and fajitas, Maria serves up hand-rolled Latin egg rolls, Cajun and Creole items like catfish, gumbo, and boudin balls, as well as the best sandwiches and 8-ounce burgers in town. Wash it all down with a house margarita for only $5.50 and happy hour every day till 6. MariasCantina.com, 6717 Airways, Mexican with a twist.
Hi, folks. Colin here. Last Major League Baseball postseason, you probably saw something unusual. Strauss on every batting helmet. They made history as the first brand ever with their logo on the postseason batting helmet. Pretty cool, right? That red ostrich definitely stood out. Their work pants are award-winning, durable, comfortable, loaded with pocket designs that actually make sense. Their jackets are built to take on whatever the day throws at you. Weather, wear, or long hours. And the boots, tough enough for real work. Versatile enough that you'll want to keep them on after the job's done. They got smart pocket systems, too, that keep your essentials right where you need them and comfort that lasts all day. From the job site to the weekend, Strauss makes gear that works as hard as you do. It's not just workwear. It's a tool you can wear. Once you try it, you'll see why so many pros trust the name Strauss. From grit to glory. Check out Strauss.com, STRAUSS.com. Again, Strauss.com. You're up now with Strauss.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Sports 56 traffic. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you. We got to talk some Tigers. Matt Infield from Action News 5. He joins us now. Matt, thanks so much for joining us.
Matt, you got to clear it up. We're all fake tough guys.
Yeah, we got to start with baseball.
We all said we would have gotten hit by the pitch.
I don't know if I said I'd get hit by the pitch.
No shot. You can't react to that. No shot. Absolutely no shot. I've got friends in Wisconsin because I used to work up there. There's no way. I think that it's also, I thought about it, I also think it's easier to eat that if it's a pitch at your upper body because of the depth perception of it. But a sweeping pitch like that at your lower body, any human being on the planet is going to have the instinct to get out of the way. I literally do not think it is humanly possible for Bryce Terang to have said, I'm going to eat this pitch.
I think you're right. I know he's right. Because off the kneecap is different than off the right upper hip.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right. If it's at your shoulder, or you can turn your back into it, or even stick the elbow guard out. There's a lot of ways upper body.
I think he did have buyer's remorse, though. I think he wanted.
But he has buyer's remorse because he swung at strike 3 to end the game that was taller than Yao Ming. That's why he has buyer's remorse.
Brett and Brian, if it's a Sunday night on the weekends and I got to take this pitch to bring Matt home, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
I like where Matt's at on this. I think I agree with him on this.
Matt is talking
if he walks or gets a base hit, no one cares.
Nah.
He swung out at strike 3 on a ball that was almost scraping the roof. That's why he probably feels bad about it.
That's a great point.
That's a great point.
All right, well, before we get to Tigers, who do you think is in the World Series? Who do you think wins the World Series?
I'm not going to act like I predict all these things correctly all the time. I've had Dodgers Mariners the entire way. I love the Mariners lineup. They've had great pitching for years, and this year, this is the best lineup they've had in a long, long time. Yeah. Obviously, Big Dumper. This might just be the year of Big Dumper, and the postseason he's having is following up an incredible regular season. Julio Rodriguez is sick in the second half of every season, and the guys that they added, Eugenio Suarez, who actually hasn't even hit that well since he got there, but it's still a dangerous bat. Josh Naylor. And then, like I said, the pitching staff is phenomenal. And then the Dodgers have to be the scariest 3 seed ever in the history of this expanded playoff format. You look at, I said last night, Blake Snell is a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. I still don't think he gets his just due, but he was incredible last night. And they've got Yamamoto pitching at a high level. Tyler Glasnow was lights out against the Phillies. So, and obviously the lineup with Shohei, Mookie Betts, Freeman, it speaks for itself. So I've got Dodgers Mariners, and I probably, I will go against the grain a little bit here. Like I said, I think this might be the year of Big Dumper. Something tells me that Cal Raleigh and the Mariners are going to finish off the storybook year by winning their first World Series ever.
Love that. That would be awesome. All right, well, let's get to some Tigers talk. Tigers did not play over the weekend. Now they'll go to UAB and face a Trent Dilfer-less UAB team as they made the decision over the weekend to fire their head coach. What do you expect in this matchup over the weekend against UAB?
I think the Tigers will take care of business pretty handily. And, maybe, there's always a thought of, are you going to get a new coach bump? But I think the entire thing at UAB, from what I have seen, is just kind of rotten to the core. And, maybe some guys will try and put some good tape out there so that they can find new homes next year. But it's a terrible team. It's been a terrible team since Fred Dilfer got there. I hate to dance on a man's grave after he lost his job, but just the way he carried himself the entire time he was there, he was just so kind of arrogant and acted like the job was beneath him, while the team was just terrible the entire time he was there. So I don't know if I'm necessarily celebrating the fact that he got fired, but I think that in a way he definitely had it coming. So yeah, I mean, they're bad, and it's still the offense coordinator gets thrown to the interim head coach. It's still the bones of the operation, I think, are going to be largely the same. So unless Memphis just absolutely sleepwalks in there on Saturday, which I don't think Ryan and the rest of the staff will let them do. I think that it is a relatively easy win for the Tigers.
I think the baseline for the Tigers Saturday is 42. I don't see how they keep them from just less than that, just starting out. They could put 42 on the board.
Yeah, this could definitely be another 50-piece for sure, especially going back to the style the Tigers play, with everything that UAB has gone through this season and this week leading up to it. If Memphis just hits them in the mouth over and over again, I think that they could break and have their will taken from them pretty quickly. So, yeah, this could be – I haven't seen what the line on the game is, but I imagine it's pretty high, and I definitely think Memphis is going to put up a lot of points.
What's your favorite Sunday afternoon go-to to daydream about potential college football playoff? At ESPN, Bill Connolly, he had the Tigers either 9th or 10th this week in his. He did not have them in that 12 spot. I get a deal called The Blitz from a nice guy in Cleveland, Tennessee, puts a nice piece together about college football every week, and he has been settled in on that 5-12 game being Tigers and Ole Miss.
That would be a little bit that would put you in an interesting spot, huh?
It would be. I think it would be one of the great weeks of radio at this radio station ever, up there with 1 versus 2 when the Tigers and Tennessee played in basketball.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I definitely think there's a path if they win out. You probably have to go undefeated the rest of the way. But, yeah, I definitely think there's a path where it's not just set it and forget it. They're in the 12th seed. Obviously, they don't have the advantage of last year that Boise State had, where because they were a conference champion, they were the 5 seed last year. Because of that, and to be fair, I think that they got it right this year, where I don't think that you should automatically be a higher seed just because you are a conference champion. But if Memphis runs the table and wins the conference championship and is the G5 representative, I think they're definitely going to have a good argument to be higher than 12. I don't know how much higher, but maybe like 9 or 10. I mean, it seems like it could be potentially within reach if they run the table.
And the prospect of 12-0 regular season, win the American Championship game here, 13-0, they will not be 11 or 12 if they're that, just from attrition.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just hesitant to daydream too much about how high they could get, just because we know the bias that the powers that be have towards the power conferences, which is fine. I get it, but yeah, and even you see it, and I don't know if we'll talk about next Saturday and the game day prospects and all that, but the fact that game has already been announced as an 11 a.m. start. Yeah. When you look at that, I think that's one of the I think it's one of the premier games on the schedule that day. And you look at it, you say, well, ESPN, ABC, they want to showcase the SEC, which is fine in itself, but like to sacrifice that game to make that happen, it doesn't quite sit right with me. So I wonder how that could manifest itself in a college football playoff discussion, seeding discussion, a couple months down the road.
It's a good question. I looked up Memphis, a 20.5-point favorite on the road against
UAB. I would hammer that.
Yeah.
I would hammer that.
And actually, he's down. It opened at 21.5, so it's gone down a point. Which is,
UAB's getting some money. That's interesting.
Strange.
Yeah, I would. Dilfer's lost by 24 and 35 the last 2 years to Memphis.
Yeah.
So if the opening line is lower than that the week he gets fired, I think I would be tempted with a better potentially Memphis team than those two teams. I would be very tempted to lay some money on Memphis. I will not because I do not bet on teams I cover, but if you wanted a little bit of gambling advice, I would say that.
That must be people that just really do not like money.
Yeah, I don't.
Who are they?
It shocked me when I saw
Where
it.
do they live?
I was not expecting it to be under 3 touchdowns, but I guess that's what maybe they're thinking we'll get that interim head coach bump from UAB or something along the lines. Matt, when you look at this team, we talked about this yesterday with Jonah Dillon, but everyone always talks about, you have your week off. What's the team working on this week? If there was one thing you could say the Tigers should have worked on during their off week, what would that one thing be?
I think Ryan mentioned it yesterday. It's a boring answer, but probably tackling, to be honest, because sometimes this team does go through stretches where guys are breaking tackles and they're not wrapping up. And I think that's something that generally improves as the season goes on. But that's the kind of thing where in a game like this, for example, against a team that you're clearly much better than in UAB, if you start getting lazy with your tackles and not wrapping up, and all of a sudden guys are breaking off bigger plays because of that, that's how you let an inferior team hang around. So that's kind of the boring, simple answer. But I know Ryan mentioned it yesterday, and I kind of agree that I think we saw it with the team last year, too. They had some tackling issues early in the season that generally, as the year went on, got better. So, yeah, that's one thing that comes to mind.
The first AP poll out in college basketball, big deal, no big deal. What, Tigers didn't even receive a vote?
To me, not a big deal. It kind of just, to me, that tells me that the voters look at their roster and don't see any sure things, which is fine. I think for the most part, you do look at the roster and you have a lot of question marks. But, the answer to the question is the AP poll before the season doesn't really matter much because if they have a rock star first month and a half of the season and really play well in their non-conference schedule, they're going to be ranked. We've seen it the last couple of years. They generally, I think brand new teams, and Memphis has fallen into this bucket the last couple of years, brand new teams generally don't get a whole lot of love in that initial opening poll. You get power conference teams with returning players and all that stuff. So if they come together quickly, like I think they have a chance to do, I think that they will end up being ranked. So, yeah, I would say it's, relatively speaking, no big deal.
If the Tigers start with a win at home against San Francisco, we're not doing W's and L's right now. I'm just saying if they beat San Francisco at home, go to Oxford and win, beat Josh Pastner and UNLV at home, and win both games at Baha Mar, the Monday after Baha Mar, they'll be in the top 10.
Oh,
yeah, if they knock off, because Purdue's number one, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they knock off Purdue in Baja Mar, they will definitely be ranked after that for sure.
And if you do all that, you would expect a win over Southern Illinois to start 6-0.
Yeah.
You're easy top 10.
Yeah. You're definitely right, pretty high. So yeah, at the moment, no one knows what this team is going to be. I mean, we don't even locally really know what this team is going to be. So obviously, on a national level, very few people are going to have an idea of what to expect. So yeah. Who cares? Take care of business and let the chips fall where they may as far as the poll goes from there.
Kind of fun, but kind of scary about not knowing this team, isn't it?
Yeah, but to be fair, I think we brought this up last week or the week before. I mean, we said the same thing about the football team, and so far it's been pretty fun. So, I have confidence in Penny. I think that Penny has really kind of learned how to build a roster from scratch in the portal. And obviously a couple of years ago, he went big game hunting with a bunch of talented scorers, and that blew up in his face. And I think last year we saw kind of the counter to that in terms of he went out and he got a star in Haggerty, got another guy that turned out to be a star in Danger, and then the rest of the guys were really good complementary pieces and older guys that had leadership skills as well. So I think he has a pretty good idea of what he's doing, and I would have confidence that this thing is going to come together relatively quickly, especially if they can establish someone as a go-to guy early, which I said my leader in the clubhouse for that would probably be Doug McDaniel, but who knows? Any one of these guys, relatively speaking, can emerge.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and I know a lot of people excited Thursday night to go and get their first look at this team with the Ballin' on Beal event. So we're getting really close to some Tiger basketball action. But Matt, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Appreciate it, fellas. Have a good night, all right?
Good stuff. Thank you. Matt Infield from Action News 5 talking all things Tigers, and I like his take on everything, including the baseball. Brian, can you imagine the feeling? Let's go out here a couple of weeks, couple months, and Tigers are 12-0, and they host the American Championship game, win that. You know that next Sunday morning, the Sunday morning after championship games, you know you're in that bracket.
That's right,
You know you are. It's not going to be Boise. It's not going to be UNLV. You're not going to be South Florida or Navy or anybody from the American. You know you're there. The feeling from young and old alike, long-time and new Tiger fans alike, of tuning in that Sunday morning.
It's going to be unbelievable.
That'll be one of the feelings of all time here. And the potential of that 5-12 game, I'm steadfast in. In the times I've been doing this, 33 years, in my 34th, well, I can't even add. It would be one of the bigger weeks ever.
Oh, it absolutely would be.
And Jimmy Gumb's bracket, the winner of that game, Sugar Bowl versus Alabama.
All right.
The 3-week run up to that for
wow.
both sides.
Wow. Yeah, that would be
and
awesome.
I know I would, but I think Ole Miss fans would really embrace and enjoy that.
Oh yeah.
And that would be an option.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you see a lot of fan bases that it's, and even some of the fan bases that have had a lot of success of, this playoffs, this expanded playoffs, this 12 team, or we're hosting a playoff game. There are different ways you can kind of look at it and kind of have that first time joy. But I think a lot of fan bases, and I think you're right. I think both Ole Miss and Memphis, it would be one of the best weeks if you wake up and see your name there.
And at the same time, all of us seeing it for the first time, the frozen tundra of the Grove for a December game.
That's right. Yeah. Oh well, be something, I guess. But people would still be out there tailgating away.
Oh. we can get fire pits.
That's right. You can get warm.
Those little hand warmers.
Find
Those little shaking, let the air hit them. Those little hand warmers.
Yeah, just drink more, that warms you up, I guess.
Every hunter knows, and I'm not. Every hunter knows how to stay warm.
Oh yeah.
So hunters would have a leg up on.
No, they definitely would. They definitely would. I'm not in that group.
No.
But
I don't eat that food.
Yeah. Well, I was told by a friend when I was in middle school. He was like, you can't come hunting. This was a friend's dad. He's like, you can't come hunting with us. And I was like, why not? He's like, you talk too much. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. So
I would every time I ever went hunting with my brother, and he's like, shh, be quiet.
You gotta be quiet, Brett. You're gonna scare them away.
Like I can do that.
You're gonna scare them away. Well, we need to get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk some NFL. That's next on Sports Time.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Are you ready for the... Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Get ready for the hottest basketball event of the fall. Memphis Madness presents Ballin' on Bill, sponsored by Campbell Clinic. Join us Thursday, October 16th at 6 o'clock at Handy Park and Bill Street for a night packed with fun, high-energy introductions, and your first look at this year's Memphis men's and women's basketball teams. Best of all, admission is free. Don't miss out on the excitement. For more information, visit GoTigersGo.com.
If you're thinking of selling your home, think of me, Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf, because I've got the tools. No, I can't fix anything around the house. Heck, I never even finished my shoe shine kit in high school shop. And if you play golf with me, you'll see why I'm known as the worst golfer in town. And they call me Mr. Three-Putt or Sheldon the Shank. But I have all the tools to get your home sold. I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and when. And I'm part of a nationwide relocation network that provides many more transferred buyers coming into our market. Always interview 2 to 3 brokers. Make sure you include me, the bald, bad golfer who people say when you want the job done, call Sheldon. Reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's right, my website says it all. MemphisRelocate.com, or anytime call me at 483-0546.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We got to talk some NFL. We had those 2 Monday night football games to wrap up the weekend in the NFL. Brett, your biggest takeaway from the weekend in the NFL?
From the entire weekend?
Sure.
I go back to my top story. Just I didn't think that Buffalo would at any point this year appear to be this gettable, especially not back-to-back losses. I still think they'll be in the Final Four of the NFL conference championship game. And San Francisco, I really thought they would win at Tampa. And Baker Mayfield,
impressive,
week in, week out, making that case for MVP.
He really is.
What a story.
Yeah, no, it's incredible.
What the Browns did to him. And remember, that year, lobbing around on 2 different teams, Panthers and the Rams, his throw-in guy.
Yeah,
People they gave up on his career.
Well, that was the season where he got traded to the Rams, had to go in that night, or it was the next night or something like that. He's learning the playbook on the plane on the way over. I mean, it really has been a wild career for him, and the fact that we're talking about him in MVP conversations, just unbelievable. I mean, that throw he made to Tej Johnson towards the end of that game, and a great catch by Tej Johnson. Even better backflip by Tej Johnson after he scored the touchdown. But I mean, it's just those type of throws. He's putting them in the most perfect spots for these receivers to go out and make a play. So yeah, no, he's been really fun to watch.
He has been, and that's the story. And also, what they're doing in Tampa on defense. It's not just the Baker show.
Yeah, no, it's been that's a really good team, and they are looking really put together, and they could be a dangerous team throughout the entire year and even into the postseason.
Can Drake May do a little something, not make him forget, but chip into the Brady legacy in New England? And if Baker wins it in Tampa, that's as much as Brady ever did there.
Yeah, I think it would certainly be tougher for Drake May, obviously, because that's Tom Brady's franchise right there.
But chip away.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. He's definitely making them forget about those thin years after Tom Brady, because he has been really, really good, and the performance he's put together over these last couple of weeks has been awesome. He is definitely looking like he belongs in the NFL, and he's going to be one of those next big quarterbacks.
Darren, who are your Niners? You like where they are?
I like where they are, but the injury bug, it's just something I don't get it.
That injury over the weekend, that did it for
to lose Bosa and Fred Warner, you're going to have the questions like you brought up. I was listening to you guys last week, I believe, and you say, hey, book it. Mac Jones starts a playoff game even with a healthy Brock Purdy. That type of talk is scary to me.
Yeah, Brock rock star out.
Yeah, that's right.
That type of talk it just scares me. It just reeks of we can't get right. So
you know, our friend Keith Smith on Thursdays talking NBA with us. He really emphasizes that window is never as open as you think it is. The Kyle Shanahan window.
Yeah.
You know, the whole step down just to shake it up, a year away, come back somewhere else. Needs to be cashing it in.
Yeah, he does.
Or it gets by you.
Yeah, I don't think, but I don't think this is and I don't think it's anything other than just the fact that all these injuries are piling up, and I think it's gotten to the point where it's
front office would be very patient.
Oh yeah,
I say he gets frustrated.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I think definitely could. I haven't really thought about that, but
how many different teams would hire him tomorrow morning?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I mean, it's all his dad. I mean, his dad has an office in the building. Let us not forget.
Yeah, but he is the quarterback whisperer. I mean,
That's daddy. That's daddy, man.
I don't know, man.
It took his dad a while.
That's true.
Remember that Raider tenure
true.
he had?
That's
was
true.
Pretty ugly how it ended. And then finally with the Broncos to get Terrell Davis and get it right, a complimentary player to Elway.
That's true. How about this, Darian? Sure, I'll get his dad in office, whatever team I am. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys.
I heard Mike is a tough cookie. That's why he's not in the game anymore. The only person that has the skin to deal with him is his son.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I would put him and Jerry Jones in the same room. That might be dangerous. Brett, I actually saw a text message from earlier today. I don't know if y'all got to this, Darian, because this was sent in during John's show. Someone talking about the Cowboys and their loss over the weekend to the Panthers. How in the world do you have that type of performance against a running back that you told get lost? Go to free agency.
He had a slogan, strap up, wasn't it? Strap up or strap in or something?
Something like
that. And Dak acknowledged it. We didn't strap in.
That's right. Yeah, no.
It was to John's show? Are y'all sure it wasn't John texting from vacation?
No, I don't think so. I think it could have been. I don't know. It might have been. But this person says the Panthers might be 3-3 now, but they're really 1-3. Can't count wins over the Dolphins and the Cowboys. I mean,
no, that's not how it's counted.
I mean, but I'm with them. I mean, those two teams, yeesh, that's two bad teams right there.
That's not how it's counted.
No,
they all count.
But the Dolphins,
they all get a game check on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, but man, the Cowboys, with what I've seen from that defense, and then the Dolphins, their star quarterback, quote-unquote star quarterback, going out there saying guys aren't coming to our player-only practices.
Real quick before the break, best Alabama quarterback in the NFL, Bryce Young, Tua Tagovailoa, or Mac Jones?
Bryce. Bryce is playing. I think Bryce is playing above his head right now.
He got better last year.
He got better. Bryce is getting better.
All right, better yet, rank them. Rank those three.
Right now, it has to be Bryce, Mac, Tua.
It is.
But it's crazy that the pocketbooks are the opposite direction. It goes Tua first, so you know.
Miracle of compounding interest.
I'm gonna go Mac Jones. How about that? Yeah, he's been great for San Francisco this year. Well, we need to wrap up this hour and get to a break. When we return, we're gonna talk some college football. Brent Beard from First Coast News in Jacksonville. He'll join us next.
Ken Garland, you are in your 72nd year of business. Your son William is now joining you. What do you think is the key to your longevity in the building business?
My dad started the business in 1965, and I think being on the job sites daily and being accessible to homeowners has been a key to our success.
You guys have a work ethic, as you like to say. You're not hiring people to be on the site. You guys are there every day.
We interact with the subcontractors multiple times a day on each job site. You know, I think that has been a key, as well as using the same subcontractors 20 plus years in most cases.
When you talk about materials, what is the first thing you're thinking about when somebody comes to you to build a home?
You know, we're just trying to meet the expectations of the client and the homeowner and the architect and give them what their dream is.
When you get a Ken Garland home, what do you guarantee?
We'll be there after the job is finished. We're still accessible to all our clients.
Now I need to know, how do I get a hold of Ken Garland?
You can reach us at kengarland.com.
On eBay, every find has a story. Like, if you're looking for a vintage band t-shirt, the one you wore everywhere until you lost it, now you're on eBay, and there it is. The things you love have a way of finding their way back to you, especially on eBay. From rare collectibles and vintage cars to designer fashion, it's all there. Shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to base or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef. And she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
Hold it.
Like you know to check the assembly instructions first.
Hold it.
Before building the bookcase.
And done. Whew. You can let go.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Steady flow. Traffic spotted right now on 51 northbound. As that traffic builds up towards the Millington area, starting to get a little bit heavier in the last few minutes. Been quiet so far in Midtown on 240 South at South Parkway. Sam Cooper, well, that's also picking up as well, mostly going outbound. Hey, Zips Car Wash, that's where I go, and so should you. Get upgrade, shine, and protection at your local Zips Car Wash. Visit zipscarwash.com for a location near you. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden. Weekdays from 11 to 1. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Tuesday afternoon. We got to talk some college football, and we do it at this time every Tuesday with Brent Beard.
College football talk every Tuesday with Brent Beard, Heisman voter, and on Twitter X at Brent Beard. SEC, ACC, AAC. We talk it all with Brent. Here's Brent Beard with Bryant and Brett.
Brent Beard joins us now from First Coast News in Jacksonville to talk some college football. Brent, thanks so much for joining us. I know we usually talk a lot of SEC, a lot of ACC with you, but I want to start with the big firing over the weekend. James Franklin out at Penn State. What did you make of that news on Sunday?
Well, I thought they would end his career at Penn State toward the end of the year. We're in a different day now. That is not going to happen. It's very obvious. Now, some of this is going on. Brett can help us with this, but I don't remember it being this many coaches in this many schools by mid-October.
Glamorous jobs.
Yes, absolutely.
Dream jobs.
So that is I think that's what the surprising thing is here would be the number of, as Brent said, big name teams. And look, there's nothing real concrete about this right now, but hearing that there will be several other, not one or two, but several other big name jobs that are coming open in the next few weeks that people will be surprised about. So should anything surprise us right now?
I don't know how it can, Brent, and we talked about it yesterday with David Cobb from CBS Sports. It feels like, except for a couple, everybody is subject to a 3-game losing streak and being fired.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, when you're Penn State and Franklin. Now, look, I get the point that he struggled against some of the better teams. Get that, understand that. But my stars, when you are, shall we say, in the Final Four of the playoffs last year,
and in the Peach Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's what surprised me a bit. So, but I think what we're seeing, guys, is a kind of a, I don't know if it's a chain reaction that, okay, we need to go ahead and open some stuff up, and if we do that, we'll be ahead of the game. So, and look, I still think you've got, man, there are major questions in our state right now, Florida State and Florida, that are going on. Obviously, a lot of questions at Auburn right now. Now, Brett, help me with this. I know what doesn't surprise us is that there are a lot of openings. What is surprising for both of you is that is happening as early as it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, we ain't got to Halloween. We're not even close.
Oh, no.
I mean, I barely carved my pumpkins.
Wow. You better get on it, Brett. So it's the 14th of October.
You know I will.
Yeah, I love Halloween too, as a matter of fact. But look, there are times where I think Brett and I have seen everything there is to see, but particularly for our younger colleagues like you, we're seeing a new day in many ways, aren't we?
We are, and at Penn State, now it's not one lump sum, but at some point contractually, if they have to be, they're on the hook for almost $50 million at really? A time. And I don't want to. I sure don't want to denigrate anyone, but we know friends and have administrators at a lot of these places in athletics departments that aren't making anywhere close to that they're having to let them go to for budget purposes.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's just a different day. I think what surprises me would be we've got guys who are making accomplishments less than a year before they're fired. That's what I'm having trouble getting over right now. But I've also got to realize we're in a new day, and we've got pressures and calendar dates and so forth that we've got to deal with maybe now than we ever have in the past.
Okay, who's the best team in the SEC?
I would say I would say Ole Miss first and Alabama second.
I was asked where was last Thursday on Jocks with Pat Smith and Landrum. They asked me, pick me your SEC championship game right now, and I said, let me go back to kind of the default to my media day and run up to the season pick, and I went with Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah.
Because that feels easy.
Sure.
That changes. It could change this weekend if Ole Miss won in Athens.
Yeah, I agree. And that is a terrific game. I mean, you've got 3 games at least in the league this year. Help me on this, Brett. It seemed like over the years, I mean, it was maybe one game a week. Now we've got 3 or 4, And next year we're going from 8 to 9.
The best soap opera on TV is Saturday on ABC and ESPN in the SEC.
Yeah. And
it's better than All My Children. It's better than any
Yes.
of
Yeah, and when you've got, like we said,
General
Ole Miss,
Hospital.
Georgia, LSU, Vandy, and Tennessee, Alabama, and that's just this week.
It's good stuff. Red River last week, Brent. Did John Mateer come back too early?
I think he did.
He played with one hand.
He did. I give him credit for his moxie and wanting to be on the field, and so forth. But at some point, when you're throwing multiple interceptions or bad throws or you're off target or something, I mean, if he doesn't play, there's no way to know this. I'm being just throwing this out here. But if he doesn't play, how much closer is that game?
And it begs the question is, how much do they think of the backup?
Well, that's a great point. Obviously not enough to play him with that. So, I mean, it was obviously a big win for Texas, but the reality of it is you've got OU at South Carolina. I mean, is he going to be ready this week after struggling the way he did last week?
It's a good question. I was kind of sitting there thinking of, would they be in a better spot if they had just run the backup out there against Texas? Because it was ugly.
He had two hands.
More than what Mateer had. What he was playing with on Saturday. Brent, Alabama, they win again against Missouri. It really feels like this Alabama team has figured things out.
Well, when you've got a quarterback who is accurate, it's amazing what happens, is it not?
Just don't beat us.
Yes, precisely, and that's kind of where they are in this point. The defense is better than I thought it might be right now, but there's no question that Ty Simpson has made a big difference here, and particularly when you're struggling at running back. You're struggling because your running backs are getting hurt, and that's a problem. They still need to make some adjustments to the offensive line because Simpson was sacked 4 times last weekend, and you can't keep doing that. But look, this is going to be very interesting. I mean, Tennessee has also played well. I mean, I'm curious if the defense is going to get Ricky Gibson and Jermon McCoy back. That would make a difference too. But still, certainly the night game of the week on the SEC. But I mean, Bama's playing better than I thought they would be right now, to be honest with you.
And then there's Florida, and you have the unenviable task, but a really fun assignment tonight to go speak to a Gator club. Now, weren't you just recently at a Bulldog club?
No, I was recently at another Gator club.
Okay. I was wondering if you give the same speech, but just change the names and faces.
Great.
That's pretty good, Brad. I like that. I was at the Black
Tell them what they want to
Club.
hear. Tell them they're going undefeated.
That's right. And tonight is the Clay County Gator Club, and next month is the Georgia Bulldog Club. But look, the Florida situation is certainly concerning. But there are a lot of Gator fans. Now they host Mississippi State. Look, right now, in some ways, State's playing better than they are. Struggle against A&M. Which is a real problem. There is some thought. Again, this is, there's nothing guaranteed about this. I'm just throwing this out. There's some thought. Florida is off next week before they play Georgia. There's enough smoke, shall we say, that's coming out that has made us wonder, will they make a move and make some kind of announcement on Billy, say Sunday. So no guarantee of that.
Even after a win?
Yeah. Even, I've heard that too. Even after a win.
Let me go now then.
I know. Yeah, I agree.
Don't sleep at the office this week, Adrian.
Yeah,
it's not
now,
worth it.
Yeah. Now they've got after state, they've got the week off, and then they play Georgia here. And look, they've still got Ole Miss, Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida State left.
Yeah, their biggest rival, FSU.
Yeah.
Or certainly FSU's biggest.
Yes. So the reality, and look, you talk to different beat writers, they tell you different things, but the possibility exists right now that regardless of what happens Saturday, because the following week is an off week, that they may do something at that point. I'm not saying they will. I just know that's part of the chatter.
So potentially you have Florida come open. You have Auburn come open. We know the national jobs like Penn State, and a somewhat glamorous, but not a great job in UCLA, but glamorous to somebody. Somebody's going to take it. It highlights to me the mistake made last year, maybe even 2 years ago, by Hunter Yurachek not moving on from Sam Pittman then, because now he's moved on in this active coaching market of much better jobs.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And then you've got Bobby Petrino, who every game is either thumbs up or thumbs down with all of this too. And look, guys, the other situation here is the Florida State situation. I mean, you've got, again, this goes back to what we talked about a few minutes ago. Florida State, as you guys know, had a real debate point about making the playoffs only 2 years ago. They obviously had a real difficult year last year, winning 2 games.
He's had one good year there.
Yeah. So I think when they look at all that, that's your reality. But again, this is stuff that we're seeing more and more of. Is do you go ahead and make the change, even though it's going to cost you money? Because if you don't make the change, are you going to have a bunch of empty seats the following year, or even before this year's over too?
Yeah, it's a question I think a lot of teams are asking themselves. But yeah, Florida State, Brett's right. One good season.
That's it
for Mike Norvell, and
that's all he said. Now Dion is no longer the answer anymore.
No.
If he were rocking along at Colorado, that would be.
It would be.
And if his health could allow it, and I sure hope it could or would, but no longer from success on the field. No. He's no longer in the mix there.
No. Look,
here's who's not in the mix at Penn State. Good man, might fit the profile, tough guy, all that good stuff. They're not hiring back-to-back Vanderbilt coaches. They're not hiring Clark Lee.
No. And I think Clark Lee's he's done a nice job. But yeah, I understand where you're going with that. Also, and by the way, Florida State plays at Stanford, which is a 10:30 game this weekend, and has not defeated an guys that get this, not defeated an ACC opponent since September 21st of last year.
Yeah, the expiration date hit after the Bama win. That's
not
holding him up anymore.
No, it's not. No, it's not at all.
And you could ask this about Vanderbilt, and if Mike Norvell fails at FSU, this could cause a reluctance for anybody, maybe for Ryan Silverfield. But Justin Fenty, good man, great coach, will do a great job with the college football playoff. His new assignment there, but he didn't do well at Virginia Tech, and nobody else has called since then. Mike Norvell after Memphis, one good year, not ending very well at FSU. That could give people pause to hire Ryan Silverfield, which Memphis fans would be fine by that. At Vandy, historically, the ones that get that catapult out of there, that job out of there, Steve Sloan, 1 year, maybe 2 years at Texas Tech, then Ole Miss, didn't work out. Jerry DiNardo, LSU, Didn't work out. Now James Franklin vaulted from Vandy to Penn State. He won, but they didn't win what they wanted to win with him.
Right. Well, and look, and we talked about this a few minutes ago, and add to that list, Billy at Florida. I mean, realistically, if Florida fires him, does Billy go back to the Sun Belt? Where would he go at that point? Is a very interesting question, and it's not only him, but it's several coaches.
The late great George Lapidus had these words, and I am pretty good friends with him, especially when Mike Shula was at Alabama, and I loved him, loved it as the character, loved his family, loved Sherry, loved those little girls, and I was trying to get. It was the Tigers had an opening, and I was trying to get George to talk to people for Mike Shula here, and George in this studio during the break said, Brett, if you can't win at Alabama, how are you going to win at Memphis? If you can't win at Florida, why would somebody else want to hire Billy Napier?
Yeah, I know, and that's not saying that he can't get another job, but you know, you just really wonder where. I mean, Florida's in a situation, guys, to where they've got to hire a sitting head coach who has a history of winning now. That is the next the question that they've got to answer, and they're going to have to answer pretty quick.
And then there's a lot of the next level of kind of they're ready to get back in, like Jimbo, like Ed Orgeron.
Sure.
I'm scared of those guys after you've been to the mountaintop at that creme de la creme place. Are you ready for that scuffling place, and that scuffling place now with budget limitations for NIL?
Well, that's the thing I was going to say, Brett, is it's not a totally different day, but it is a different day to some degree, is it not? With what you're dealing with NIL and some of these things now that we didn't have, 5 years ago? Some people would even say maybe even 3 years ago. Look, if you can call ball plays and you can coach, that's important, but there are just some, and to your point, there are just some things now that are going on that we didn't have years ago.
Here's another hat you have to have on. You have to have that social media hat on.
Yeah, you really do. Yeah, yes. And if you can't do it, you certainly have got to have
hire somebody to give the password to your account, and they do it for you.
Yes, precisely.
Brent, speaking of these coaches in trouble, I guess you could say, late last week we got the reports that North Carolina and Bill Belichick were in conversations on an exit plan. Now Bill Belichick came out yesterday, said that is categorically false. What are you hearing? What are you seeing with this North Carolina job, and what do you think ultimately happens between Bill Belichick and North Carolina?
I mean, I could see him coming back for another year just because he wants the challenge of it, unless he had just realized, guys, if I can't get another NFL job, do I stay here, or do I just call it a career and go into television or whatever it might be? I still think he comes back and goes another year, but at the same point, how is he going to be doing in recruiting, and how many of these kids does he want to come back for next year? That's a great question that has a lot more questions than answers to it right now.
Brent, you cut your teeth on college football in the Yellowhammer State. Is it must-win Saturday on the Plains for Hugh Freeze against Missouri?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that's probably correct. I mean, you've got a situation now to where they are. Look, again, they've got a really good defense, but they can't do everything. And look, I get the point of where some of the calls wrong Saturday night in the Georgia game. Yeah,
spectacularly wrong.
Yeah, But the reality of it is, guys, is how do you? I'm not saying that they didn't have any fire and any energy, but Georgia took that game over and made it theirs in the second half, and Auburn had very little to say and on the field to dispute it.
Yeah, no, they absolutely did. And we'll see what Auburn can do this weekend. But Brent,
good luck tonight.
Yeah, good luck.
Knock it out.
Thank you, guys.
I know you will. They're lucky to have you.
Give them some positive words down there. But enjoy the rest of your week. We'll do it again next Tuesday.
Yep, look forward to it, guys. Always. Take care.
Thanks, Brent. I mentioned the blitz.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like it. And a lot of people are doing brackets. So here's Jim Gum at the blitz's bracket. Number 1 seed Ohio State, 2 Miami, 3 Indiana, 4 Alabama. That would be conference champions from the 4 big ones.
Yeah.
5 Ole Miss, 6 Texas Tech, 7 Oregon, 8 Georgia, 9 Georgia Tech, with them rematch in the college football playoffs, and that would be in Athens. You know, that game this year is going to be played at MBS in downtown Atlanta, not at Bobby Dodge Stadium. 10 Texas A&M, 11 Notre Dame, and 12 Memphis. So first round on campus, Georgia Tech at Georgia, Memphis at Ole Miss, A&M at Oregon, and Notre Dame at Texas Tech. Winner of Georgia Tech gets Ohio State. Ole Miss Memphis gets Bama. Oregon A&M gets Miami. Texas Tech Notre Dame gets Indiana.
Wow. I'd be fine with that. I'd be really fine with that. I saw one on...
Please make that happen.
Oh, that'd be great. I saw one on ESPN that had Memphis and Texas Tech in the first round.
Fine.
Sure.
Long way to Lubbock.
I'll say, I've heard...
shorter than Lafayette County.
I've heard it's really hard to get to Texas Tech, so I don't know about that one. But, yeah, I mean, it feels like... We talked about, I think, either last week or the week before about it. It feels like a lot of people who are putting out their brackets, a lot of them have Memphis and Ole Miss. So
really
we'll see if that holds. That'd be awesome.
Sign me up.
No, I would be all about it. So we'll see. Obviously... both teams got to take care of business, but we'll see where they're at.
The sun would come up the next day regardless.
We certain? So.
Yeah. We certain?
I don't know.
Okay.
It'd get weird, so I can't make any promises. But let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk some Major League Baseball, talk about the action that took place last night, and we'll preview tonight's Game 2 between the Dodgers and the Brewers. That's next on Sports Time.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Cleanliness is next to impossible unless you call High-Low Commercial Services. For 15 years, High-Low's dedicated team has been cleaning offices throughout the Mid-South. High-Low's janitorial services are customized to your business. Clean once, quarterly, or ongoing, and get the JRD guarantee. We clean until you're satisfied. High-Low Commercial Services, the biggest and the best in the Mid-South. Visit MrCleanTeam.com. That's MrCleanTeam, MrCleanTeam.com for High-Low Commercial Services.
Family Leisure doesn't do anything small. It's always got to be big, just like the world's biggest spa sale. Happening right now at Family Leisure. Check this out. You can get spas starting under $3,000. Spas and even swim spas, they're up to 30% off. Floor model spas have even bigger special prices. Cold plunges are all the trend right now. Take the plunge starting under $5,000. You see a patio furniture set you like? You could get a free umbrella with it. Ask an associate for details. Plus, swimming pools are clearance price now through the end of October. Get yours before the prices increase. That is with any big sale. Special financing, it's available. The only thing small during the world's biggest spa sale at Family Leisure are the prices. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire-roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Still building right now on all the major outbound routes, especially in the Midtown areas. We check it out live again on I-40 over here at Chelsea. It's consistent right now with that heavy traffic getting off 240 onto 385 Billmores Parkway. All that traffic going outbound towards the Collierville area. Weimer's Jewelry wants you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. Stop by and see them, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, baseball has been awesome really throughout the entire season, throughout the playoffs, but last night was a lot of fun. We talked yesterday during that first game, because I think you look at the score, if you didn't watch that game, 10-3, and you go, okay, well, the Mariners just dominated this entire game. It really wasn't the case. I mean, they went up 3-0. Blue Jays tied it in the second inning to make it 3-3, and then I think it was the fifth inning where Jorge Polanco hits the 3-run shot to go up 6-3, and then those last 3 or 4 innings, they were able to tack on a couple more runs to make it 10-3. So really dominated the second half of that game, but early it was a really good back-and-forth game, and Mariners, they are now up 2-0 in this series, going back to Seattle, and but I think they're gonna sweep this. I'm confident in it now.
2 down, 2 to go for first World Series appearance ever, and that will complete all 30 in current Major League Baseball to have appeared in at least one World Series. Let me clarify Tom Ackerman's question yesterday, because I got this back from a friend of mine. He said Milwaukee's been in a World Series. Yes, they have. 2 teams in a World Series, if it's Milwaukee and Seattle, meeting for each to win their first one. Right. That was the nuance.
Yeah.
Not I know Milwaukee's been in one.
Sure, yeah, but to win it and to have that opportunity to play to win it, that will be the first. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited about any of these matchups that we can get. Now, I think I'm with Matt. I think we're gonna get the Dodgers and the Mariners, but I hope I'm rooting for Milwaukee to win this and get to the World Series. I think that would be a really fun matchup. They've been fun team to watch all season long, and so I hope
never
they
been
can
this
push
close.
through. No, they have not.
Seahawks, of course, won it in the cold weather Super Bowl game against Peyton. And the Broncos, you got to go way back to the late 70s in the Seattle Supersonics winning it.
Yeah, that's right.
Jack Sigma.
Yeah, it's been a while. So
Seattle ready.
Yeah, no, I mean they're in the driver's seat now over this Toronto team. And it's just crazy to me to see this Toronto team where you go back to that series against the Yankees, and it felt like they were never going to stop scoring runs, and now they're kind of struggling against this Mariners pitching staff that has looked pretty good. And yesterday it was mainly the relief pitchers that came up. Logan Gilbert, he made the start, but they pulled him pretty quick after he gave up those 3 runs. And so it was really the bullpen that got the job done for the Mariners yesterday. But Matt talked about it a little bit. He mentioned it. Everyone knew this team was going to be built off the pitching staff, and they've really come through. And now this lineup is starting to become really big. And those additions that they made at the trade deadline, getting some guys back from injury, has been huge for them.
And the schedule doesn't matter. Seattle wraps it up fast, and same thing on the other side. It won't be one of those where I come in and go, you need to be playing in 2 days, because with these 4 cities, 3 with domes, 1 with it never rains in Southern California.
Yeah, we could play forever.
We could play to the Super Bowl. World Series could be best of 29.
Sure could.
Breaking news, fellas. No sweep. George Springer has been there before. Trust me.
I don't
Let's
know.
watch. Okay.
I love him.
I mean, I
UConn's finest, George Springer.
He's been there before. So.
I hope that we get I'm pro more baseball. I don't know.
I'm just banking on the Wiley vet. That's all. I just need the Wiley vet to show up.
Darian, I picked against the Mariners in this series. I picked for
What?
Toronto to win this. Yes, I did.
We're not going to count it.
I mean, I picked it, and they're trying to be quote unquote.
You're doing that. If I pick against you, my team will get their deal.
Part of it.
Quoted. No, we're trying to be nice guys.
Hey, Darian, we're gonna be nice to you. We're gonna not count this.
He went all sops on us. We know he doesn't.
Part of it. I mean, the other part is the last game was 15 innings. They had 2 days later. They're playing the first game of the series.
Wrecked my sleep until last
crazy.
night. I just caught up from
Yeah, it was
Friday night
awesome.
last night. Darren, you were on all those texts.
Yeah,
Friday
we
night.
were having a ball Friday
Remember
night.
who was on all those texts?
Yeah.
Half the time I don't know who I'm texting.
I got stuck in a restaurant. That's why I was so active. So I was picking up. I was leaving Channel 5. The wife was like, "It's our anniversary. We need to eat." So 16 years was Friday. Oh yay!
Way to go.
So
Way to go.
stopping and getting some late night grub from this place down in Mississippi, and I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave. Like, if I leave, I get a hit or something, I miss the rest of the game. So my apologies to all of y'all. I was just stuck. I was like, I got to text or talk to some friends.
I just couldn't respond because I was going through it. I mean, even though they are not my main team, as a guy that has been following the Mariners for the last 4 or 5 years, I was very invested in that game, and I could not be texting during those innings.
And that's the point you make, Darren. I wanted to bring it up and let me clearly state and say that I'm not taking a shot at anybody. I'm asking inquisitively, totally ignorant. I don't know.
Yes, it was Jack Flaherty's fault.
No.
Oh, okay.
And you couldn't leave, and you couldn't catch it on any, just on AM or FM in this local area. Yeah. Does anybody locally, anywhere, carry the national playoffs and World Series anymore?
No, I don't believe so. I've gotten in front of that. I've been a serious XMer for better part of 10 years.
I know you can do that, but if you're me, and it's AM or FM is basically the option. Yeah. That's it, the 2 options. And used to, here a long, long time ago, REC 600 would carry. They wouldn't carry every pitch of afternoon, weekday LCSs, but they carried everything at night. In all the World Series, regardless of time. And there was a time where we would start World Series games on weekdays that started and ended in the sunshine. It wasn't all at nighttime. Now, that was probably dumb.
Yeah.
But we did it. You can't find anywhere in the country. I'm not talking about just here. Isn't it ESPN? Are they the national radio carrier of baseball
so.
Playoffs?
I don't
know that either.
I actually don't know if that's true or not, but I would assume maybe.
CBS Radio Sports, and Tom Ackerman mentioned yesterday, one of the great Jack Buck calls of all time was doing the CBS national radio of Kirk Gibson in Game 1 of the '88 World Series tomorrow, October 15th, 1988, and that was one of his great calls. I don't believe what I just saw.
Yeah.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Huh. Yeah, I don't think I haven't thought about that, but I think
So, such a Jack Buck devotee, the ball that got through Buckner, I'm watching, and it was weird. We could sync things up then easier than now. Off the antenna, just turn the antenna a little bit. But I'm watching Mets Red Sox on my TV. No, I'm not. I'm watching Monday Night Football and listening to Jack Buck and Sparky Anderson do that game. And when the ball got through Buckner, he let it breathe. And even on radio, that's harder than TV. Just let the natural sound from the crowd going crazy, pardon the pun. And his first words, open up a page of the history books. No, open up the history books and insert a page. And then threw it to break.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's how you
really
do it.
good. All right, so since we're talking about baseball on the radio, I'll ask you this, because I saw this on Twitter. I want your opinion too, Darian. So they're up in Pittsburgh, and I did not know this. I think it's like an annual thing where a bunch of the Pirates fans gather and listen to, I guess, the last World Series they were in back in the 70s. And they
79.
listen to...
We Are Family. Baltimore.
Right. They listen to that radio broadcast like in the park or something.
I love it.
I think it's weird. I think it's sad as an organization to do that.
It goes in the same vein as Mercury Mars. I think so.
And the Champagne?
Yeah, I think so. They're going to do it each and every year.
Who runs the Champagne Club now for the Dolphins?
Was Deerdorf on? Wasn't Deerdorf on that?
No, he was Cardinal. Nick Bonacont, because Mercury's deceased, right?
Yeah, I believe he is now.
So.
I believe he is.
I wonder who's running the Champagne Club
That's
now.
a good question. I don't know.
Be careful if Zonky is.
Well, yeah, you...
It may be Larry, right?
Could be.
Could be Larry.
Might be. I don't know.
But baseball on radio, in today's the 40th anniversary of the Ozzie Smith home run, and we were watching on NBC. Vin Scully's doing that the national. Well, we had sound down and we were listening to Jack Buck, and it synced up perfectly. And NBC ran the graphic, bottom third, like in 2,272 career at bats left-handed. Ozzie Smith's never hit a home run. Next pitch, go crazy.
Holy cow! Wow.
Corks one down the line.
That's crazy.
Brett, would it be Bob Greasy?
I bet it is.
It would be Greasy. It would be Greasy over Zonka on that team.
Yeah.
Maybe it is Greasy.
I bet he lives down there too.
Maybe.
Why would you ever move from South Florida?
I certainly wouldn't if I was living down there. Yeah, no, but Brett, I can't stop thinking of nobody carrying the national radio coverage of
You get the same thing around NBA playoff time. If you're out, and it's not a shot at anybody. I understand the carrying stuff on the radio. Listeners out there, it's not easy. You don't owe us anything, but you better be glad.
No, it is.
We owe you, but you better be glad you get Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football in college games all around town. Because it's not easy for a radio station anymore to do it.
No, it's not.
And especially baseball, because you don't know if you're going to be there 2 hours or 10.
It's right. But I do love listening to baseball on the radio.
You know, I know automation's taking over, but you still need somebody there.
Got to have somebody there. And I have a brother that drives over the road, and XM just carries them. Like local, you get local vicariously. Like you may hear Pete Pranica on XM calling the Grizzly games. That's how you localize it. But XM just carries radio.
I'm always going to be local.
Yeah, no, it is. XM does do a good job with kind of you can go and find any team in their local broadcast just on that Sirius XM. So it does a really nice
Anybody
job.
can pull me over at any time and check what's on my radio dial. 560.
That's right. That's exactly right. So tonight, game 2, close game last night between the Dodgers and Brewers. We've talked a lot about it. Who wins tonight?
Brewers.
Okay, I hope so. I certainly hope so. Even it up.
And if they don't, they're done.
Yeah, I think so. But, I mean, like we talked about earlier, I mean, only 2 hits last night and still only lost by 1 run and had an opportunity in the ninth inning.
That's really quiet.
really quiet. So I mean, you have a better
I like Pat Murphy.
offensive production. Maybe you can
I
get
like
there
it.
tonight.
Pat Murphy, bench coach, gets the job when that job wasn't cool enough for Doogie Howser anymore.
That's true.
When Council takes the Cubs.
Yeah, you're right about that. No, I love this Brewers team. I think they are a very fun team to watch and a very likable team.
I still don't know why the Cubs were so hot to get him. What did he ever win?
Speaking of Cubbies, how about Mark Pryor on the other side of the bag? How do you think he's doing as pitching coach for the Dodgers?
Good, but I think I could be that pitching.
I think, it was not a hard job when you got those guys.
No, when you got those. But I mean, they have, from what everyone was saying going into the playoffs to what they've shown since, it's been impressive. I think last night watching it, Sasaki, putting him in the bullpen was a phenomenal idea.
It was.
I mean, couldn't really figure it out as a starting pitcher. Spent a lot of time this year in AAA.
I think the
Very
moment
young.
got entirely too big for him yesterday.
Cheap shot alert. Y'all ready?
He was fine.
Cub friends, cheap shot alert. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All those titles Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood were going to win. Where are they? Still looking.
Well, you'll be looking for a while, Brett. You'll be looking for a really,
That's
really
just
long
an
time.
ugly Cardinal fan
It
speaking.
was, it was, but,
One of the few Cubby teams that I liked. I like those guys. I don't know why, but I did.
I hadn't liked one since Donnie Kester got
I
traded.
know, but it was the heartbreaking, then Wood, the injuries, Pryor, it's just.
Zambrano.
Yeah, you forget about that big guy.
Yeah, well, the Cubs can kind of, they were in the playoffs this year, Brett. They can kind of pat you on the head.
They won the same thing we did.
True. That is very true. But
He is so matter of fact, isn't he?
He really is. So let's get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporting luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's barbecue. We're cooking it up, down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. Catering is our specialty. Memphians have trusted Corky's to cater their events for 40 years because we make it easy for you and delicious for your guests. Whether it's 50 people or a crowd of thousands, our experienced team comes to your location, sets up, serves, and ensures everyone enjoys a Corky's all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet starting at only $7.99 per person. You can't beat it. With 40 years of experience, it's easy to see why customers choose Corky's time and time again for all of their catering needs. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to book us for your next party.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's barbecue.
If the question is, where should we all go after work? The answer is always Bell Tavern. Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar, not only has the perfect relaxed atmosphere you want in a bar, it also has an outstanding happy hour with $2.50 domestics, $3.50 imports, $3 well drinks, and $3 house wines, and $1 off of virtually everything else. Those are great prices at a great bar in a great location. So not only are we talking about everybody's favorite hang with ice-cold beers, signature cocktails, and the friendliest staff in town, we're also talking about great happy hour prices.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, my big number today comes from Major League Baseball, and it is the number 3.
I thought you were going to go the double play numbers.
Oh, no, I wish. That would have been good. I didn't think about that. But no, my big number is 3, and it comes from not that baseball game, but the Mariners win over the Blue Jays. Jorge Polanco is the first player in Major League Baseball history to have a go-ahead hit in the 5th inning or later in 3 consecutive postseason games. He did it with the walk-off in Game 5 against the Tigers. He did it in Game 1. And he did it again last night with that 3-run homer to put the Mariners on top 6-3. Ultimately, that led to more scoring. But Jorge Polanco, he has been a guy. I saw somebody post where they went back to when the Mariners announced that he had signed an extension. And it was the official Mariners post and just went through the comments. And all of it was like, is this the big move that we're making this offseason? This is a terrible move. That like all this crazy stuff.
Reserve a little judgment.
And now Jorge Polanco has become one of the biggest stories of the postseason.
My big number is 110. That's Kirby Smart's number of wins at his alma mater since becoming head coach. Here's his overall record: 110 to 20. He's only lost 20 games. That's the most FBS wins by a coach in his first 10 seasons in the modern era.
It's crazy. 20 losses. It's wild.
And some of them, when we came to Liberty Bowl his first year, that was 5 or 6 of them.
Wow. I mean, and then heck, the rest of them are all at Alabama.
You remember every one of them.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
Freeze beat him his first year at Ole Miss. Beat him bad.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's right. I do remember that now.
And Lane's 1-1 against him.
That's right. That's crazy. That is insane. I mean, to even try to think about that.
That's what they wanted when they let go a really good coach and good person in Mark Richt.
Yeah, it worked out for them. Look, we talk about it all the time. Sometimes it works out, and most times it doesn't work out. But for Georgia, it has certainly paid off for them.
2 national titles. Probably shoulda, coulda won another 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. I still think they had the best team 2 years ago when Bama beat them in the SEC championship game and they got to the Rose Bowl semis against Michigan. Mm-hmm. I think Georgia would have beat that Harbaugh Michigan team.
I think they would have had a really good chance to.
And they put it on Ole Miss 2 years ago in that year.
That's right. Yeah,
55.
They sure did. I forgot about that game. They absolutely did. So a lot of people are talking. I don't know if we've talked about it. Who do you think the answer is at Penn State? Because you made me think of it with the Kirby Smart, because I was the mornings they had a guest on. I don't remember who it was that was on with him this morning, but they were talking about
Blake Topmeyer.
It was Blake Topmeyer, and they were talking about how Franklin wasn't good in those big games, and Eli asked, I mean, what coach out there has been able to say I can win those big games?
That dialogue.
And they talked about Kirby. Yeah, it's just like Kirby and Ryan Day are the only 2 options. They're not going anywhere.
I think it's Signetti.
I think so too.
Because we're not hiring anybody anymore for a 20-year run.
No.
And Frank Signetti, he's 60-something. He's got 5, 7 great years left in him, and he has Pennsylvania roots. Mm-hmm. He's won at every level. Mm-hmm. Dad, pretty legendary, and he has shown he can really handle NIL.
Yeah, he can. I mean, he's for whatever you want to say about him. Does he run hot sometimes, or maybe all the time? Yeah, but he's gotten the job done, and now you look up and
backed it up.
He really has, and you look up Indiana now number 3 in the country, coming off a big road win against Oregon. So yeah, I mean, I think you got to throw all your chips at him first, and then maybe see where you go after that.
And Tom Ackerman made the point yesterday how they took apart, I think, a good Illinois team.
Oh yeah. You're right.
It's not just going out to Oregon.
No. He's done it against pretty much everybody.
Underdogs in both games. Illinois is favored in that game.
That's right.
And,
if I'm not mistaken.
And nobody thinking they would do it again.
No.
We thought last year was one-hit wonder.
Yeah, and he's certainly backed it up.
We thought he was Hanson doing the umbop. How about that, Darian?
Shout out to Hanson. Look at you.
Good Lord. It's a Tuesday, I guess. I don't know what that really means, but it's wild on a Tuesday.
I can go forward after that.
No, you've done it. You wrap it up, Brett. Well,
I'll wrap it up with the title sponsor this hour. That's our friends at Landers Ford in Collierville, the #1 Ford dealership in the Mid-South. Landers Ford, your trusted destination, a vehicle that fits any lifestyle. I was out there today and very busy. They appreciate that. They've got great deals right now, and they like to tell everybody there's no fine print in that contract with them. It's very bold. They let you know where they stand and how where you stand, and they will make sure to adapt to something for you with financing and service. From the Ford Escape to the rugged F-150 to the adventurous Bronco, every vehicle built Ford tough. The Ford F-150, America's best-selling truck. SUVs like the Ford Expedition, the Ford Escape, the Ford Explorer, Ford Broncos, and for the future and for the present, EVs and hybrids. Transparency, professionalism, and long-term support at Landers Ford. Oil changes, tires rotated, anything you need service-wise. Go online, schedule it when it suits you the best. We know your schedule is very busy. They know that, and that's why it'll be done quickly to meet your busy schedule. Landers Ford, very active in our community in Collierville at 2082 West Poplar Ave, or you can go to landersfordmemphis.com. If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Well, we need to get to another break. When we return to start our third and final hour, we're talking the Tennessee Titans. Nick Suss, the Titans beat writer for the Tennessee, and he joins us next on Sports Time.
Memphis is a love song to soul and style. With the full suite of sought-after designers, brilliant natural diamonds, an elegant bar, luxury VIP lounge, and more, a trip to our store is an experience like no other. Just like the city we love. Stop by any of our stores or visit sissyslogcabin.com and experience Sissy's for yourself. Memphis is our home, and we're your jeweler.
Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's football time in Memphis and soon basketball. And we cannot forget soccer. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, and you shouldn't forget real estate, as it's a year-round sport. I've sold homes on every major holiday, including Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Day. So don't think spring and summer are the only prime times to sell. What is more important is the prime agent you want representing you, me. With a highly successful strategic marketing program, people often say when you want the job done, call Sheldon. I may be the worst golfer in town and known as Mr. Three-Putt to my so-called friends. I am one tough dude when it comes to selling your home. During the upcoming sports seasons, interview 2 to 3 players, but definitely include me to lead your team. You can reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Remember, Shell Dunn gets it done. Maybe not on the golf course, but I can sell your home. That's memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546, and go Tigers.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Building pretty good now out of Midtown with more volume just in the last few minutes on 240 South at South Parkway. It's trying to get heavy at times. 240 East here in Mill Branch, all the way out to 385 as you get onto Bill Morris Parkway right now going outbound. It's busy, but it's moving. Hey, Zips Car Wash, that's where I go, and so should you. Get upgraded shine and protection at your local Zips Car Wash. Check out zipscarwash.com for a location near you. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
We're back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Tuesday afternoon. We got to talk the Tennessee Titans. Nick Suss, the Titans beat writer over at the Tennessean, joins us now. Nick, let's start with the big news that came out yesterday. First, thanks so much for joining us. But that news that came out yesterday, Brian Callahan out as the Titans head coach. What did you make of that news and the timing of that decision?
I can't say I was surprised necessarily. I don't think anybody's ever necessarily surprised when a team's 4-19 and not seemingly getting better and all of these things under a coach. You're prepared for something like this to happen. The timing, especially when you're 5-6 days before a rematch against Mike Vrabel, is obviously going to be talked to death with the Patriots coming to town this weekend. But this is a results-based industry. It's a results business. We all know this. And the Titans weren't getting the results. And the top brass, whether you want to say it was Amy Adams-Strunk as the owner, whether you want to say it was Brinker and Borgonzi as the decision-makers, as president and GM, they decided that it wasn't good enough. So do I think it could have waited another couple of weeks? Probably. Do I think it could have come sooner? I was ready after week 3 when they got shut out in Houston. Or I guess that was week 4 after they got shut out in Houston. It happens. It happens when a team's struggling as bad as the Titans are.
Yeah, that Houston game really matters to that front office for a lot of reasons. And, Nick, you tell me if I'm nuts or not. I said yesterday, I think the opponent being Mike Vrabel had something to do with it. The idea of him coming back and laying the wood on him, they did not want to see it. They can get beat badly Sunday, and they will, and they can say, oh, well, it was against the interim.
Yeah, it's possible to say, hey, I'm the kid on the schoolyard that's going to take my kickball and go home so you can't beat me. Like, that's possible, but I also do buy into the idea that the move was made independent of the timing. Like, I'm not going to be naive. I'm not going to say that this had nothing to do with it, but I don't want to say it was the primary driving factor either.
Yeah, and you would know that's why we wanted you on to talk this. You're there on the ground, and you got the heartbeat of it. I don't. I'm sitting in a studio in Memphis, really speculating. But for the Titans, this should be the first of many moves. They're a long way from being a serious organization.
They are, and for better and for worse, they've been a long way for a couple of years now. Like, Callahan did not do a good job. We also have to acknowledge that we're 6-18 in their last 24 games under Vrabel. Like, this is a team that has been bad for a while now, and it's a players issue, it is an ownership issue, it is a front office issue, it is a culture issue. Everything with the Titans is, to at least a small extent, a little bit broken, and some things are a lot bit broken. And you need a full organizational overhaul, and they've been doing it in half measures of you fire the GM in 22, and then fire the coach in 23, and then fire the new GM in 24, and then fire the new coach in 25. I don't know if you need to raise it to the ground or if you just need to find the right people who can stabilize it. And I think that's going to be the question with the new head coach is, do you want somebody who can raise the floor, or do you want somebody who can actually affect the ceiling? But while those conversations are taking place, it's worth taking stock of what the Titans are right now, which is in competition with franchises like the Jets and the Browns for the
utility
productive in the NFL.
Yeah. And Nick, you tell me, do you think in the organization they have it targeted, let's get our stuff together and try to be a competent franchise coinciding with moving in the new building?
I mean, that's always going to be a part of it. You have a big party, you want to look good for the party. So, I don't think that this is ever going to be their stated purpose. I don't think there's any one on the Titans who will ever admit on the record, our goal is to be competitive by 27. But I do think that the Titans' decisions over the last couple of years have been informed by not just their chase to build the new stadium, not just their chase to be good in the new stadium, but also the events that come along with the new stadium, whether that's hosting another draft, whether that's hosting a Super Bowl, whether that's becoming a city that the NFL starts to think of as a marquee city in this league. I think that possibility is informing a lot of what the Titans are doing.
Mm-hmm. Nick, you mentioned all that turnover over the last 2 or 3 years within this organization. What do you think that perception is around the league and maybe to potential coaches out there, potential coaching candidates out there? I heard someone ask this question yesterday during the Titans press conference, and they kind of shut it down, didn't really give a straight answer on it. But what do you think that perception is when you kind of look, and maybe you're a coach that is looking for this job or just an exec around the league, and you see all of this turnover over these last 3 years?
I think that there is a difference. If you're talking about potential coaching candidates, I think there is a difference between first-time candidates and repeat candidates. If you are Joe Brady, offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills, if you are an ascendant type candidate like that, and this would be your first job where you're trying to prove you can do this, I don't think the Titans are a particularly attractive organization because you're betting your career on your ability to do it the first time you do it, and you're going to a place that's not particularly stable. If you're somebody like, say, Mike McCarthy, say Cliff Kingsbury, if you're one of these people, that's different. It is different to, for the first time, be like, I know this staff, I know these players, I know that there is something here, I can build it in my image because I've done it before. But that is a big difference when you're kind of evening out your talent pool.
Yeah, and don't mess up this quarterback.
Yeah.
Sure, and that's going to be a huge part of it, but that's also one of the biggest assets that they'll have. And
that would be an attraction for a coach,
Yeah, they've got a quarterback that they can be excited about, and that's something you can sell. Now, again, is that quarterback good enough that you're going to attract good young talent? I don't think that is the case right now. I think it's very fair to say that through 6 games, Cam Ward has been among the least productive, if not the single least productive quarterback in the National Football League. But he's also a guy with immense talent, so you have to kind of play what's the goal here? Is the goal to look at him as he is, or is the goal to still see him as what he could be?
Yeah. You talk about Cam Ward, and obviously you've been around this team and around him since he's gotten to Nashville. What have you seen in terms of development, in terms of improvement? Because like you said, you kind of look at these games, he's getting sacked a lot, he's not putting up a ton of numbers, but what have you seen in terms of development, in terms of improvement from the day that he started training camp with this team and today?
That's so hard to say because quarterback growth is famously nonlinear.
Right.
Like, there are days where he looks very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And there are days where he doesn't. And there are quarters where he looks very, very good, and there are quarters where he doesn't. Like, I think that the big takeaway I have from Cam so far is that there is I don't want to say stubbornness, but let's say a rigidity to him doing what he likes and him trusting what's gotten him here. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad instinct. But I don't know. He is not necessarily adapting yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the things he did that were successful for him at Incarnate Word, Washington State, and Miami aren't working yet. So the question is it better to let him try to figure out how to make what he does work? Or is it better to try and fit him into a box that he's never been fit into before? Because neither are necessarily great, but neither are bad.
Yeah, and that's a fine line. You want him to be him. You want let Cam cook. You want him to eat, but you don't want him developing a bunch of bad habits while they're not very good, being too improvisational.
I'm sorry, I lost you for a second. Can you repeat that?
You don't want him to be too improvisational, but you want him to be Cam.
Right, you do. But also it is the Titans, their first 3 games of the season. It is very easy to say they lost and it wasn't because of Cam.
Mm-hmm.
These last 3 games, when they've gone 1-2, they won a game that really wasn't because of Cam, and they lost 2 games, and there's a pretty good argument that Cam was a contributing reason why.
Yeah, that win. Nick, as long as you cover the sport, you may never see another mockery of a win like that.
So when you put all of that together, you have a young quarterback who, let's face it, has gone over a span of 6 weeks from not the problem to maybe the problem. And it's too early to say that that problem is recurring. It's too early to say that that problem is going to sink the franchise or make it a bad pick or anything, but he's not the instant difference maker like C.J. Stroud or Jaden Daniels or any of those guys were. He's going to take some time, and that's one of the reasons why you make this move is you don't want the wrong person supervising that development.
If they're the number 1 pick again next year, what right now do you think they draft to help him the most? It might not even be on offense.
I would say that if they are sticking and picking somewhere, it's a pass rusher. This team's pass rush has been putrid for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But I think that there is but I think there is also look, there is a real possibility that if you're sitting at number 1 this year and there's a team that falls in love with a quarterback, you just trade the pick. Like, I think that this is a team that needs so much help. This is a team that needs seemingly a receiver, a cornerback, an edge rusher. You need help.
Need it all.
Potentially at a tackle spot. You need linebackers. There's so much this team needs. You can't say one player is going to fix anything.
And in the pro sports world, sometimes getting to that point is not so bad. The Cowboys got there early in the Jones-Johnson years. They had the trade that, really the heist of Minnesota for Herschel. But when you get to where, and they had Troy Aikman, they had Michael Irvin, he had been there a year or two, but we need it all. That's not a bad spot.
Oh, it's a bad spot. I'm not going to play too much devil's advocate here. Being bad in the NFL is bad. But I think what you're saying is the NFL is among the easier leagues to turn things around quickly.
It's designed to.
I think that if you're comparing against Major League Baseball, where you probably need 5-6 years of tanking in order to totally replenish and turn your organization around, in the NFL, theoretically, you should be able to turn things around in 3 years.
And the Astros did that in baseball, but that's hard.
The Astros stunk for 5-6 years, and the Braves and the Cubs and a lot of the teams that have won World Series recently have done so because they went down for a while. In the NFL, theoretically, you should be able to go down for 2 or 3 years and work your way back up. Now, we've learned that it is never that simple. We know that the Jets haven't been to the playoffs since, 2010, and the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in 25 years, and the Browns and all of these teams that historically are in the basement of the league stay in the basement, and I think that has more to do with decision makers and ownership and infrastructure and all of those things.
Definitely.
But it's tough to say. It really is tough to say whether this is a team that has the infrastructure to come up in 3 years or whether this is a team that is just broken from the inside.
In the community, in Metro Nashville, what's the faith, trust in the Adams family?
I mean, it's not particularly high, if we're being honest. I do think that there is a little bit of skepticism, and from some corners of the fan base, a lot of skepticism, because there is a seeming lack of accountability. Ownership has not answered questions about Mike Vrabel's firing, let alone Ran Carthon's or Brian Callahan's. It has been a lot of silence as this era has undone itself, and I think people have serious questions about the lieutenants she's chosen, the deputies she's chosen. Now, success cures all. If Brinker and Borgonzi and the eventual new head coach start having a track record of success, nobody's really going to care that the owner isn't talking. But in a time where the owner is, at the very least, significantly part of these conversations, and at the most ordering these conversations, the fact that ownership has not answered for the ills, I think, is irksome to many fans.
Do you think they would give any consideration to a college type, particularly somebody like Ryan Day?
If they go to a college type, I wouldn't be stunned, but like we've probably talked about this before, Brett, I think the number one rule of hiring when you're hiring a coach, a GM, an athletic director, whatever it is in sports, you tend to look for a person who is the opposite of the predecessor in the thing that annoyed you the most.
Yeah, it's the Corso theory. If you had a short guy, hire a tall guy. If you had a skinny guy, then get a chubby guy.
So it's a situation where Vrabel, the irksome thing about him was his non-collaborative tendencies. So they go out and get Callahan, who you can highlight as a very new school, very player coach type guy, very collaborative guy. Now, one of the things that I think is being framed as irksome about Callahan is the lack of experience, is the fact that he was a first-time head coach who hired a first-time offensive coordinator and a first-time defensive coordinator. So I think the qualities they're going to be looking for are going to start with, have you done this before? And you can see that with Mike McCoy, the interim coach, has done this before. He was an NFL head coach for 4 years. So if it's Ryan Day, if it's Marcus Freeman, if it's a college coach, sure, that counts as having done it before. But I would also look at former NFL head coaches who might get this second shot and third shot, like Mike McCarthy, like Matt Nagy, like Arthur Smith, like Vance Joseph, like Brian Flores. Like, these are all former NFL head coaches who are doing a good job with their units right now, or McCarthy's unemployed right now, but who are on the rise back up. Cliff Kingsbury, I can't remember if I said him. Those are the people that I would circle first.
I like the Arthur
just because
Smith
they
idea.
they are the most opposite of what Callahan struggled with.
Talking to Nick Suss, he joins us, the Titans beat writer over at the Tennessean. You talk about Mike Vrabel. He'll be back this weekend to take on his former team. Based on conversations you've had, what you've heard around this organization, do you think that there is any regret about firing Mike Vrabel in the first place?
Depends on who you ask. I don't think anybody who is like a significant decision maker will ever say that. Right. And as I alluded to, those last 2 years of the Vrabel era weren't good. They started off 7-3 in 2022 and then lost 7 straight to miss the playoffs. Then the next year they went 6-11 and he got fired. That is not a hyper-impressive streak, and there were diminishing returns, and the roster was degrading, and a lot of that had to do with bad draft classes, but also they weren't developing the people they were bringing in. And so I think there are a lot of people who still think, hey, this was probably the right decision to move on, but I don't know if the Titans have taken advantage of the decisions they've made since moving on. There are plenty of times where a team moves on from a good quarterback or a team moves on from a good coach and gets better.
Sure.
There are plenty of times where they get worse. I mean, look at what's going on in Tampa Bay right now, where you had Bruce Arians and Tom Brady. You had a Super Bowl winning coach and a 6-time Super Bowl winning quarterback and 7-time, however many it is. And, man, things couldn't be better. And then they move on from that with Todd Bowles, who was a failed head coach before that, and you move on with Baker Mayfield, who's like a cast-off NFL quarterback on his 4th or 5th team. And now they're number 1 in most people's power rankings for best teams in the NFL this week. Like, it's hard to say, oh, moving on from greatness and you're always going to dip. But it's also a lot of teams move on from too early. The Baker Mayfield conversation, the Sam Darnold conversation of why move on from something that's just hit a little bit of a snag when you think it has potential. So all of this Monday morning quarterbacking doesn't really work in the NFL. Purely the only thing that matters is success rate, and the Titans haven't had it.
That's it. The best team you've seen, is it the Colts?
Best team I've seen in person this year?
Yeah.
No, I would say the Rams are probably the best team I've seen in person. The Colts are incredibly efficient. They're incredibly effective. I will give them a bunch of credit for being really good at staying on schedule. I do not necessarily see them as a team that is going to respond great when they are off schedule. So
they got to play ahead.
Yeah, that doesn't bode super well if you're playing tight playoff games. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just slow to respond to a team that is better than I thought they were.
It never goes that easy. You know, the team you used to cover that I'm with every weekend, I think they have some of that. I think when Ole Miss is playing from ahead, they can be really good. But I'm ready to see what happens with some adversity.
Well, they'll face some this weekend.
Sure
That's going to be a fun game.
You want to come down between the hedges with us?
Dude, I thought about it. I've covered both Georgia and Ole Miss. You guys know this about me. I'm a Georgia grad. I lived in Athens. I lived in Oxford for 5 years. I would be really excited to watch that game, but I also
what a life! Get to live in Athens and Oxford. Great life.
And Nashville.
And Nashville,
That's
true. For sure.
I've lived pretty happy these last couple of years, but I'd love to go to that one. But I do have a pretty big game to be back in Nashville for that noon.
We miss you. You sound, and I know, are very happy, and we love the work.
Yeah, it's been great. Nick, as always, thanks so much, and we'll do it again soon.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you, man.
Nick Suss joining us from the Tennessee end to talk the Titans and everything that has happened over this last week.
Remember, Nick was the questioner of Coach Prime, Coach Sanders, and called him Dion. And remember that?
Oh, that's who it was?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Legendary.
I don't think he did one thing wrong.
No, definitely not.
Not at all.
Definitely not. But
Now,
I forgot about that.
I'll be very coachy with coaches.
Sure.
But a lot of people don't want to and don't, and that's fine too.
Well, I mean,
I thought him being assailed was wrong.
I think there are a lot of different sides to that interaction because obviously Dion is was already such a big public figure before he decided to coach. So I see nothing wrong with someone just being like, hey, Dion. Also, at the same time, like, I understand a public figure like that getting into coaching and being like, I want to be looked at as a coach. I don't want to be looked at as fun guy Deion Sanders, call me coach. So I thought it was handled wrong by Dion, but I see both sides.
And if you want to be argumentative, combustible with the questioner, you could almost attack he or she if they call you coach, because you could get this answer. Well, you don't play for me. Why are you calling me coach?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so you're subject to that. I've heard that as well. One of the best answers ever. Richard Williams at Mississippi State, who I love. And at this time, I didn't know him at all. And this is the year they end up going to the Final Four in '96 to the Meadowlands in the Final Four. But at the SEC tournament a few weeks before that, when they got on that great run, Dante Jones couldn't miss. He could walk in blindfolded and throw it over his head. It would go in. And I asked him, and earlier that year they had lost to Wimp Sanderson and UALR in early December. And I asked him all serious. I said, Coach, what's the biggest difference between your team now in early March than in December against Wimp Sanderson and UALR? And he was looking at the stat sheet and never looked up. He went, about 4 months.
That's a great answer.
Speaking of Dante Jones, wasn't that Eric Dampier's team as well?
It was.
Gotcha.
Great state team. And they got on in the SEC
Final Four state team, right?
Oh yeah, to the national semis, got beat by Syracuse, and Kentucky got UMass and Marcus Camby that day in Cal, and then Kentucky won on Monday night. Mike DeCourcy says on these airwaves with Dave, he thinks the '96 Kentucky team was the best college basketball team he ever covered in person.
Wow.
I mean, you got the names. You got what? Tony Dilk, Ron Mercer,
Mark Pope.
Was that Walker?
Anthony Epps.
Was that Twan Walker?
Antoine Walker was a freshman.
Twan Walker. Ooh. Who else?
Delk was MOP of the Final
Yeah,
Four.
Delk was out of this world at that
Was
moment.
Shepard on that team, or was that a year or two later? Might have been a year or two later. He was MOP for Tubby's Final Four. Might have been a year or two later. Loaded team.
Yeah, absolutely was. Oh, Mark Pope.
Coach Pope.
Coach Pope brought out
If I
John
may say
Wall
that.
at their Midnight Madness thing, Big Blue Madness. So
I'm trying to think of the big man that was on it. It wasn't Nazir Muhammad. That
he
wasn't.
was 2 years later.
Oh, he has a goatee. I'll get it. Oh goodness. That team was great, though.
Not
That
Jamal
Kentucky
McGlure.
team. What's McGlure?
McGlure was later. Hit the Google machine.
Yeah,
You try not to. You try to play stats sometimes. You're playing stats around stats sometimes. It don't work.
Man, my brain's fried.
It's a lot easier just to look it up. I've found that to be much
That was
easier.
a fun Kentucky team, but
Yeah.
the SEC tournament that year was at the Dome, at Superdome. The shooting backdrop was terrible. Wasn't for Dante Jones.
Wow.
And that guy couldn't make it from Bourbon Street.
Sometimes when you got it, you got it. You know, forget depth perception.
Tank hit empty at halftime against Syracuse.
Well, that also happens sometimes. But before we get to this break, let me remind you about our 5 o'clock sponsor. It's Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the 2025 models like the 2025 Range Rover Sport, 2025 Range Rover Velar, and the 2025 Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility, with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender, available in multiple models to fit your needs. The Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to jaguarbluffcity.com, but head out there, test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince, for Bluff City Jaguar. Did we find our...
It was Nazir Muhammad.
Yes, 96, right?
And Shepard, too.
My God, Tony Dilk, Antoine Walker, Walter McCarty, Derek Anderson, Ron Mercer, Mark Pope, Anthony Epps, Jeff Shepard, Nazir Muhammad was on that team. Oh, my goodness.
DeCourcy says best team he ever covered.
Well, got the name.
And in those days, Brian, guess where I was?
Right here.
Right here. From this very studio, we had an on-air personality saying that Ron Mercer was going to be the next Michael Jordan.
Hindsight is so 2020, but he was good. He had the 6'5", 6'6" frame, the prototype build.
Yeah.
So
be real careful with the next Michael.
We know now, but
as much as I love the great Jack Buck, he said Brian Jordan was going to be the next Willie Mays on the air.
Really?
I heard him say it.
Wow.
You got to be careful with that.
You got to be careful.
sometimes you take a high hard one and you swing out.
Sure. You got to take the swing. Yeah, sometimes you miss. It happens. Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk about what's trending.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Whether it's day or night, hot flashes due to menopause can be unpredictable. That's why there's Veoza, a prescription treatment proven to reduce the number and severity of hot flashes day and night that can start working in as early as 1 week. Based on clinical studies measuring efficacy at 4 and 12 weeks, individual results may vary. Talk to your healthcare provider about what this may mean for you. For moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms or hot flashes and night sweats due to menopause, Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com. Paid for by Stellus Pharma.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-size courts, 3 high school-size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about everything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Going outbound on Bill Morris Parkway, where they crashed there at Hickory Hill. Again, moving that accident, causing extra delays on 240 getting onto 385 Bill Morris Parkway as they clear up that accident again in the area of Hickory Hill as traffic gets heavier to the south of Memphis on 55 down through DeSoto County. Weimer's Jewelry is your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. Check them out tonight at 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, we got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending. Couple things trending this afternoon, but one thing that I did want to get to, the American released 2026 opponents for next football season. Memphis will play at home against Army, East Carolina, Temple, and UAB. On the road against Charlotte, Navy, Tulane, and USF.
Pretty good roadies.
Yeah, pretty good roadies.
Two Annapolis, two New Orleans.
Yeah, those are the
South FLA.
Yeah, those are the three big
So much
games
for
that
Charlotte.
are on the schedule for this year at home.
You
So
know,
you
Ole
go on
Miss
the
is
road
scheduled
there.
to go to Charlotte next year.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I've never seen Charlotte in person. And on the Tiger schedule, one I can check off. The last two remaining from the American. Charlotte, that I'll see with Ole Miss, I hope. And Temple.
Temple. Oh, really? You've never seen Temple?
Got a first Saturday with Washington State.
How about that?
Brett, what's the number you gave out last week of total college teams you see? Was it 95?
94. in FBS.
94 of what?
136.
136.
That's pretty good.
And it might, I know it's 94, and for me, I'm sorry I can't, but Arkansas Lou Holt's first game at Arkansas played New Mexico State. I know I was there, categorically there. Still got the ticket stub.
Yeah.
In 80 or 81, they played New Mexico, and I know I would have been there, but I have no recall at all about it, and that's not like me.
Huh.
Was that in that game package that you got tricked into as a kid from the uncle? Or, I mean, was it round up in that? Because I know you know about this. Okay.
Oh yeah,
I know about that.
And we laugh about it. I still at the time I thought I was getting the great end of the deal.
I mean, it sounded too good
More.
to be true.
More's always better, isn't
Well,
it?
that's what they say, Brett. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is too good
So
to be true.
I'm only counting it as 94 because I have no clear recall of the New Mexico Lobo game. I want to say in 80.
See, Brett, I thought you were about to go. You were at a game, but then the NCAA vacated it, and so it can't count in your book because it technically wasn't ever played. I thought you were going to give me some NCAA violations.
Well,
there.
I got a team that I don't think they play anymore. Two, Wichita State and Pacific.
Oh,
but they're not in FBS.
No, that's I love that.
So I'm only counting 94, and I can't come up with anything for New Mexico.
Yeah,
Only thing I know about Pacific was Michael Oluwakande. That's it from Pacific.
Cool.
Number one pick in '98.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, Pacific. They had an okay basketball
Damon was
team last
there.
year. He was.
Oh, he did coach them, didn't he? Okay.
We sure did. They had a decent team last
Come
year.
on, open dates, line up right next year. Where I can go see Tigers and Temple.
That's right. Well, yeah, I mean, you might see it, and you get Army here, which will be
And I
really
think
cool.
next year we only have one open date week because it really starts a little later. Everything next year is a little later.
Interesting.
That's odd.
That is weird. Oh yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, no, I think a cool schedule. It will be tough with those road games. I mean, you expect Navy, Tulane, USF will be tough on the road, but I am excited. Army at home against Memphis. That will be a lot of fun to see Army. So
Sure will be.
I think cool opponents for the American, and I've heard, Brett, and you can give me an update next year. I've heard the Charlotte Stadium's looking good. They've done some renovations over there.
It's small.
It's very small, but they've made
It's enough for them.
They've made it nicer, so that will be cool for you to go and see that game.
Road trip to Charlotte.
That's right. Well, it's kind of weird, but I guess you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do.
Well, we were just there last year for Wake Forest,
That's
State
true,
in Greensboro.
and that didn't.
That led to Washington State.
Yeah.
And we were really going to be mad at Wake Forest there for a little while
I
Saturday.
was about to say it was that trip was not a fun one. I mean, it was a fun one because you got the win, but it was not a fun one
contractually.
Outside of that, yes. So yeah, no, that will be cool
But
next
you got Deuce Alexander out of it. He was
true.
at Wake last year.
That's true. I forgot about that. You texted me earlier today with just one word, Brett. Bracketology.
It's really starting to matter, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, it's I guess matters more than the ones in
practices
August or April. The first one that comes out in May. But
how come we know so much in the summertime and know nothing in October about college football. And now for Lenardi, he's got the bracket down now, and come 1st of February, we'll know nothing.
Yeah, no, it's weird. But hey, Lenardi, I guess keep doing your thing.
Did you know it's only 11 SEC teams?
Yeah, I was looking at that. 3 of them, 3 SEC teams in the next 4 out: Oklahoma, Georgia, and Texas A&M. All 3 in the next 4 out.
That'd be a big miss for the SEC after 14 in.
Yeah. I mean, but we talk about it a lot. I mean, it feels like you're never going to be able to thread the needle the way they were able to next year.
Tigers AQ from the American.
Yep. They're the only American team against Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he had last month.
11 seed against a 6.
That's right. So not much update there.
That's no man's land, isn't it?
If they won that game, they would play. I just lost it. I had it in front of me, and now I lost it. They play somebody, I guess. They'd play BYU as the 3 seed. So maybe Memphis versus AJ DeBonzo.
I'm not trying to be a funny guy at all. Well, we know that would be on a Saturday because the NCAA tournament schedules where BYU won't play on Sunday.
That's right. Yeah. So that would be a Saturday.
It seemed like a easy, pretty decent road as 11, right? Wisconsin and BYU. I guess BYU.
I don't know, Darian. I don't know.
I can't.
I've seen the Tigers.
BYU a little stronger, but Wisconsin. What do you know about Wisconsin?
I don't know much about them this year, but usually they got a pretty good team.
I know last year.
Frank the Tank hiding somewhere.
I didn't recognize them last year.
Yeah, they were more.
They played faster than the Mark D'Antoni Phoenix Suns.
Right. Yeah, they were.
What happened to belly button defense at Wisconsin?
They didn't look like that last year, but no, I think
you got nowhere scoring 85 against them last year.
No, and I think BYU.
Forget about that recruiting class.
Frank Kaminsky from me.
Oh man, Frank the Tank. I love Frank the Tank. Yeah, I think BYU. If BYU
I pulled so hard for Wisconsin that year in the semis against Cal.
Man, they had to.
They hit 1-3, and I think permanent rotator cuff damage. Me fist pumping.
I love it. Fist pump.
It was so great.
If BYU's
to
a
wreck
3
his
seed,
undefeated year. Sorry, BVN.
Yeah, no, that was unfortunate.
Not sorry.
No, definitely not. But I think BYU's gonna be pretty good this year. So I do too. I don't want to see them in
They were good last year.
They were.
They were really good last year. They actually were.
And I think they're gonna be pretty good this year.
Right, we're gonna have to have Tiger W's and L's soon.
Yeah.
Probably do that.
Yeah. No, thank you. Can we just skip that part of it?
Tigers open on Saturday the 8th. We'll probably do that about Wednesday the 5th or 6th on Thursday. Does that sound good to y'all?
Yeah.
We'll have to come up with our preseason Final Four. And for Saturday the 8th, that Friday the 7th.
Right. Tiger Bankroll.
Tiger Bankroll.
Brett, I was actually
coming to your channel soon.
That's right. I am starting to get.
I was such the big winner last year.
You were, and what was it? Was it 2 years or 3 years ago
you
where I ran away with it? And so maybe this. So I was 2 years ago. You were last year. Maybe Landon or maybe Darian.
Darian, you were Tiger Bankroll last year.
Right, yeah, I think I did pretty good in the bankroll and the football. I didn't want to rain on Landon's parade about the football deal. I was like, I think I did pretty good in the NFL deal.
Darian, you last year in football.
Yeah, that football was
Only thing that would rival it was the first time Johnny Hill did a bracket.
Yeah, wow, he
got like 50 right.
He roped us into that one. I've never filled out a bracket.
I don't even know how.
I don't even know how.
Well, Johnny
just murdered it.
The best looking bracket I've ever seen.
It was crazy. It's weird. I'm starting to get into it's basketball season, Brad.
Oh, me too.
Like it has started. And I was looking at schedules today. There's some team, and I don't remember who it is. Maybe Austin P. I was looking at their schedule. 3 games before Memphis plays their first game.
Yeah, I don't mind the Tigers waiting till that Saturday. Most everybody will go Monday the 3rd. Not that many games Tuesday the 4th.
Right.
A lot of games 5th, 6th. I don't mind that with this new team, and let's practice before we go out there and try games.
Yeah,
you can start on the 3rd, but you don't have to.
No, man. It certainly doesn't hurt if you can get
Lemoyne on. You probably have that game before, right? I guess that's what you're looking for, the tune-up, right?
Well, no, I'm just saying,
No, I'm talking about games that count.
Games again, okay.
I think it's Austin P. They start on the 3rd, on Monday. They play a game on Thursday, and they play on Saturday. So, I mean, depending on what time that start time is and what time the Tigers start time is, there's a possibility that Austin Peay could have 3 games in the record books before Memphis even throws up the first shot of their first game.
And that's no easy opener for the Tigers.
No. San Francisco, I mean, I don't know much about their team this year, but usually year in, year out, they're a very difficult
Bill
team.
Russell and Casey Jones aren't walking through.
But they usually have some pretty solid teams.
Or Quentin Daly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Got anything on Quentin Daly?
That's a good draw.
I was thinking about, didn't Marshallone's son play for them? Or was that St. Mary's? Sarunas Marshallone's.
I don't remember.
Maybe that was Mary's. I think that maybe that was Mary's. But it was one of those West Coast teams.
Try finding a college basketball magazine.
I have one.
Where?
At my house.
Where'd you find it?
I don't know. Connor got it.
Come on, Connor.
He got it somewhere. He sure did.
Come with the goods.
Yeah, he got. I think maybe.
I went a couple places.
Maybe he got it at Walgreens. I don't know. I don't know where he got it from. But he came home. He was like, "Yeah, I got a magazine." I was like, "Oh, cool." So yeah. I haven't opened it.
I need one.
He opened it though. I did see SEC Media Days started today.
All day coverage.
Did they have coverage?
Yeah.
I tried to flip it over there.
I think, or was it on Plus?
I think it was on Plus today, because I was kind of bummed out about it because I tried to flip it over to SEC Network.
Men's and women's joint.
Yeah, and they were showing like a football game, like a replay of a football game, and I was like, huh. But maybe they'll have coverage tomorrow.
You got a channel for it.
Yeah, because it's a 2-day event. I know the American, they just did 1 day. But the SEC doing 2 days, and so maybe they'll have some coverage of it tomorrow. But at least when I tried to peek in, they did not have any coverage of it. I had to go online and watch it.
That gauntlet will be tough again.
It will be really, really tough.
Bryant, I located it. I'm surprised you didn't know this one. So it actually was West Coast basketball. It was Augustus Marshallonis, St. Mary's Gales. He was the player of the year in 23, 24, and 24-25.
Really?
Yeah, West Coast basketball. I thought that would have been up your wheelhouse.
That is up my alley. I'm sorry. The shame.
Yeah,
on
actually
me.
was player of the year for WCC.
Late Tuesday night tip time.
That's right. Can I make it up? Can I impress you with my?
Oh, West Coast. Oh, I know that's your wheel. Go right ahead. I know that's your house.
Well, it has nothing to do with West Coast. Last night, I'm embarrassed to say this, Brett.
Don't be.
I'm very embarrassed. Last night.
You bet on college football on Monday?
No. I watched after the football was over. Samford and Alabama A&M scrimmage.
That's what you do. I mean, that's on the iPad, I would assume. That's what
Laptop,
he does.
Yeah.
It's preparation for the show.
Yeah, that's what he
You're doing
does.
it for the people.
Yeah, because we're talking so much Samford basketball here.
You'd have to go outside of this building to get someone to look at you weird, knowing you. You study. No, that's what you do.
I don't think any consumption of the sports we talk about is weird.
Yeah, I know. But outside of these 4 walls,
I was when I was watching last night. I was enjoying it, but I was sitting there. I was like,
I've opened this door before and seen his feet kicked up with a monitor, an iPad. Yeah. So not shocked at all.
Speaking of obscure games, we have three football games tonight. College football games.
Couple Sun Belt and Western Kentucky from
CUSA.
Conference USA. RC USA.
Yeah. So Brett, I don't know. I'm so glad we're talking CUSA here. Did you notice last week? And I don't remember what night it was, but Middle Tennessee State. I don't know if they're Middle Tennessee State anymore. I think they're just Middle Tennessee now. They're playing a home game last week, and I could not figure out the entire game if this was something that ESPN put on like digitally, or if this was something that Middle Tennessee went out there and painted onto the field. Under the Middle Tennessee logo at the 50-yard line, it said CUSA midweek or CUSA weekday or something like that on the field.
They're proud of it.
I guess so.
I like it.
I guess so. But yeah, CUSA, they're now playing weekday
Here's
games.
the one thing I did do successfully today, basketball related.
All right.
Made my Grizzlies schedule month by month.
I'm just glad I don't see any W's and L's on there yet, Brett.
No, not until. And did it without any fanfare. Didn't get mad. Didn't break my printer. And everything acted right.
And it's in color. Come on, see that? We know him so well.
In color.
We're so happy that it's in color for him.
I'm really impressed, actually.
And successfully changed it from black and white to color for the option.
All right. I love it.
There you go.
I love it. Yeah, so...
the things we celebrate.
It's crazy. It's
the little things.
It is the little things. So, yeah, tonight, 3 games. It starts right here in just about 15 minutes or so. New Mexico State, Liberty on CBS Sports Network. 6:30 on ESPN2, Arkansas State and South Alabama. Then 7 o'clock, Florida International, and Western Kentucky.
Speaking of the Grizzlies, tomorrow at 5, Rob Fisher on these
That's
airwaves.
right, yeah, Rob Fisher. A lot to talk about with Rob, and I'm sure, because that's how it always is with Rob, it won't just be Grizzlies and NBA.
Football thoughts.
It will be a little bit of everything with Rob Fisher, so definitely excited about
Baseball.
that tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, I know. Brett, honestly, I don't even know why we say we just talk NBA with Rob Fisher, because it always gets to the point where you just talk about everything with Rob.
We do.
But that is how good he is and how knowledgeable he is.
He can
get to
speak about
everything.
the hockey.
Yeah, he absolutely can. Brett, might have to. Don't tempt me, Brett. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't.
But I tell you,
tempt
look
me.
over your shoulder.
Well, I can see the reflection in this window of what's behind me. So I knew the hockey.
Only the all-time leading scorer right there.
That's right. That's right.
Ovechkin?
Yeah.
On the right? Is that
That's
him?
right. Yeah, that's him.
He said that him all right. No, I think Levy, the guy Levy that was on the left.
That's right. Yeah, no, he's the leader right there. But let's go ahead and get to our final break of the day. When we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's and Humdinger's Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Running a business is hard enough, but cleaning a business, your time's too valuable for that. You need Hilo Commercial Services, dedicated professional cleaners with 15 years of cleaning experience. Hilo customizes your cleaning needs, and you get the JRD guarantee. We clean until you're satisfied. Shopping center, retail spaces, medical, legal offices, Hilo cleans it all. Visit MrCleanTeam.com. That is MrCleanTeam, MrCleanTeam.com for Hilo Commercial Services.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
You know what I love about Central Barbecue?
They pay you to do their radio commercials.
Well, yeah, but what I really love about Central Barbecue is I'm proud to do their radio commercials.
Really? You should put more effort into it.
I'm proud to represent the very best barbecue in Memphis, and therefore the best barbecue in the world. Wait, what'd you say?
Nothing. I'm proud to do the Central Barbecue ads, too. Believe me, I've done some ads for companies that really weren't the very best in their business.
I know the ones you're talking about.
No, you don't. That was a long time ago.
If you say so. But doing ads for Central Barbecue means being able to say, honestly, it's a great product at a great price.
With lots of great locations.
If wedding bells are in your future, you need an unforgettable engagement ring from a jeweler you can trust. And that's been James Gaddis Jewelers for over 60 years. With a huge selection and the best prices, James Gaddis is a master jeweler and diamondologist. Beautiful jewelry from James Gaddis is always the right choice. Choose from rings to earrings, necklaces to bracelets, and gemstones to watches. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar, online at GaddisJewelers.com and Instagram at Gaddis Jewelers. Say I do at James Gaddis Jewelers.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Humdinger's Taco Tuesday. Enjoy crunchy slaw, grilled fish, and chicken, and the best taco sauce in town. $2 tacos all day. The best deal in town.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Say you stand by your man. Tell me something I don't understand. You said you love.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest Crunch Time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries, its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
Goodbye! It's obviously Crunch Time. Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Humdinger's Taco Tuesday. Enjoy crunchy slaw, grilled fish and chicken, and the best taco sauce in town. $2 tacos all day. It is the best deal in town. Well, Brett, what I learned today is that coaches are getting contract extensions. We talked yesterday about coaches getting fired, and now today feels like the day of coaches getting extensions. In the NBA, Jason Kidd has signed a multi-year contract extension with the Mavericks, and over in Major League Baseball, AJ Hinch has agreed to a contract extension with the Tigers.
With that great hat.
You tell me he wears it well, so I will take your word on that. But extensions going all over the place the day after it felt like everybody was being fired.
It is. Hinch deserves it. Hard, tough. Got to be tough watching for Tiger fans.
Yeah.
What I learned, Seattle's 2 wins away from their first World Series appearance ever. It would complete all 30 current Major League Baseball teams to be in at least one World Series. NFL, 28 out of 32. Detroit, Cleveland, Houston, Jacksonville never made it. NBA Finals in current city, 23 out of 30. Atlanta, Charlotte, New Orleans, Clippers, Minnesota, Sacramento, and Memphis. Current city, remember. I don't need to hear about the St. Louis Hawks in current city, Atlanta.
Oh, man. But somebody is going to point that out about
Guarantee it. Hawks have won one. I know. In St. Louis.
I guarantee it. What I could have done without today, the NFL has suspended Lions safety Brian Branch for 1 game for his role in instigating a post-game scuffle against Kansas City. And this is big because he's going to miss a massive Monday Night Football game for the Lions against the Buccaneers. We talked yesterday kind of looking ahead to that matchup and how good of a Monday Night Football matchup it will be. Well, now they'll be without one of their better defensive players. So, something that was very avoidable for Brian Branch. Hey, just let's not start a scuffle after the game. He is a great player, and now they'll be missing him in a big time game.
I could do without this because it's as good as gone. Tush push will be gone. The sneaky steak all will be gone. Anything that surprises the refs, anything that's not a straight up traditional play, I think is getting ready to be outlawed because you can't kind of trick the refs. And it's why if you run a trick play in pregame, your captains or your coach, college and pro, you better tell the referees where they're not caught by surprise because if they are, they flag it.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, got to make sure everyone's on the same page, and that, unfortunately, now means the officials as well. Where are you beaming tonight?
NLCS Game 2, Dodgers at Milwaukee, American Family Field. Can't promise an 8-6-2 double play unassisted put out by the catcher at third, but we will enjoy the games tonight. The umps, they didn't know what to do last night, but William Contreras did. Just start touching bags, putting the glove on other players and see how many people get rung up.
That's right. Let them figure it out after the fact, but make sure you cover all your bases. Beam me to the, I guess it's not really a late night game, but it's the latest starting college football game tonight, FIU and Western Kentucky. Brett, I have fallen in love with Maverick McIver, the starting quarterback for Western Kentucky, ever since, week 0 when we learned that his grandparents had land and they used to shoot Western movies on it, and this guy's a gunslinger.
I remember his dad at Texas, Rick McIver.
I mean, this guy, he's got it. He's fun to watch. This Western Kentucky team's fun to watch. So 3 games tonight, all group of 5 games. You mentioned a Sun Belt game, a couple of Conference USA games in there. So should be fun to watch tonight.
Razorbacks pounded his dad 1981 in Fayetteville, 42-11.
I'm sure he probably remembers it. Like we said, we always remember the losses.
Western Kentucky playing from RCUSA, aren't they?
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. So it'll be fun tonight. Those 3 games.
1 week till NBA opening night tonight.
That's crazy.
1 week
that
on
is
NBC.
Insane. That is so crazy. But yeah, we're almost there. You mentioned it. We'll talk to Rob Fisher tomorrow about the NBA. The Grizzlies also have a preseason game tomorrow night. So
I got a quick question. Group lock. We'll all be there next Wednesday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Well, that's all the time we have this evening. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.